is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me. So, talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
Good morning, TBV. Whoa, that one left. What up, cats? Ladies and gents, we are back with another one. Man, I felt like we ain't even leave. Honestly, we don't really leave, you know what I mean? It's like a break every now and then, but we're always back talking boxing. The 24-hour sport, man, I love it. Today, we're going to be discussing Vergil Ortiz and his limited options. He called out Keith Thurman. I'm also suggesting Kell Brook. And we want to ask you, can Dazn and Oscar De La Hoya secure a big fight for Vergil Ortiz? Plus, you can join us for overtime at 10:45 today at patreon.com/The Boxing Voice, where we'll be addressing all your comments in the respected overtime posts. Good morning, fellas. What's up?
What up?
Man, we
it was
said
like
no
a late
intros
one
anymore,
last night.
right? That's what we said. I'm just making sure I'm following rules here.
Yeah, of course. No, just it was a late one last night for us, so I think that's why it feels like we didn't leave. But I keep dealing with these brownouts, bro. It sucks. It was like
brownouts. What's a brownout?
It's like when they turn off electricity from somewhere to give it to somewhere else because they're out. I don't know. I really don't even know what it is. They just keep saying on the news that we losing power for a certain reason.
That's crazy. How do they take power from one place and give it to another? Like, hey,
bro,
you're gonna have to wait right now.
Do me a favor. You Google brownouts at some point and explain it to me because I don't think that I'm explaining it right. But that's like the gist of what I understand it to be. But
Sounds
sucks,
like
bro.
Bad case of stomach aches.
So I'm already getting comments saying, hey, man, this is useless. We know he's not fighting either one of them. But isn't that the question that we're asking his promoter and Dazn? Can they secure a big fight for Vergil Ortiz? And I get TJ, who's one of our biggest monthly supporters. I get you, champ. Maybe Keith Thurman is far-fetched. Doesn't mean it's not an option. That's who he wants. Maybe Oscar believes in him. Based off the quotes, they definitely sound like they believe in him. But that's why I mentioned Kell Brook. Kell Brook isn't the best option for Crawford, but for Vergil at 22 years old, the former world champion in Kell Brook, whose only losses are going to come to Gennady and Earl. Perfect name for Vergil. And for Brook, right? We know the Eddie Hearn and the Matchroom team, they're pretty smart over there. We remember when Dillian White got offered $4 million. He said no. He would rather become the mandatory. This way that there's no split. He's get a purse percentage. There's no rematch, and he can walk with his title. That being said, if Eddie could sit down with Kell Brook, Mario, and tell him, look, this kid's number 2. I know you consider him a kid. I know you think it's a backward step, but he's number 2 in the WBA. I could pick up the phone, as easy as you've seen me do with everything else. Don't forget Joshua had a magical vacant WBA and a fake unification. I can do this for you. I can call. We can make this a WBO eliminator to be Crawford's mandatory. Then you face him when things are better and you get a mandatory split and you get to walk. There's no rematch. There's no rematch clause. I'm just saying, that is an option. Thurman, on the other hand, is another conversation, and you know, I won't hog the floor, but do you both feel like, TJ, that Kell Brook isn't realistic?
No, listen, not only do I not feel that it's real, listen, it is realistic. That is a realistic match. Now, you know, I think that the one thing is, can Crawford get it? Here's what I'll say. If I'm Kell Brook, I wonder if I choose Vergil Ortiz instead of Crawford. You know, you talk about what's the bigger fight. That's an argument in and of itself. But the simple fact that, you know, Kell Brook's not ever beating Crawford right now. It's just not going to happen. He's got probably less than a 10% chance to get it done. With Verge, those odds probably double. You know, I don't think he beats Verge either, but I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't be an upset for someone of the magnitude of Kell Brook to beat a person like Vergil Ortiz in the situation he's in. That said, you ask, can they get him a big fight? They have to. There is no turning back with this kid. He's got real star potential power. Will he ever be pound for pound like Canelo? I don't know. You know, maybe not. Will he ever be at the best of the division? I don't know. Maybe not. But at the end of the day, what he will do is draw. And right now they have Ryan Garcia, they have Canelo, and that's it. And we have to remember, their bread and butter, Golden Boy, was built on the welterweight division. You know, promoting Oscar De La Hoya, you know, having some stake in Manny Pacquiao, essentially promoting Floyd Mayweather for a few years with Richard Schaefer. But nonetheless, you know, so at one time, their bread and butter was the welterweight division, you know, and right now, that's the star they need to focus on. That's where they need to build. And ultimately, they have to give their audience, specifically Golden Boy audience, the opportunity to see every one of their fighters grow. But they have to specifically give us the guys that, you know, sell the tickets.
Alexander, he's no Alexander. He never pays attention. He's nobody. His headphones don't work. What up, Sam?
I was about to hit you with the.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Am I kidding me or what?
Yeah, no, I was turning off the YouTube on my phone. I was cutting into Mariowski's
I heard something. I didn't know what it was.
You know what I'm saying? But no, really, look, Ness, you said WBA or WBO? Because I'm seeing WBO.
WBO would be if Brook. And again, I don't want to talk over your time. It's your turn to give me your thoughts on you know, Brook versus Ortiz. But remember that Brook is with Matchroom, who's with Dazn.
All right. Well, like Mariowski was saying, there's no turning back with him at this point. You know, I'm thinking that if he is ranked number 2 in the WBO, why not match him up with any of the top 5, top 6 guys? You know, and in that top 5, top 6, you got guys that I don't even really know about, like Mika Shonanena.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is that sexier than Kell Brook? Not.
No.
Yeah, no, but not dragging him straight into a title fight or anything like that.
But
you know,
Kell
I
Brook
still think that he needs
fight.
another fight before he gets to a Sean Porter or a Danny Garcia. He needs somebody to push him a little bit more, but.
Champ, what's wrong with your headphones? We aren't talking Kell Brook.
I was leading to that.
You talking about Sean Porter and Danny Garcia.
What's wrong with y'all?
Fuck is wrong with my man?
No, look.
I gotta talk to him like an R2D2 to like yo. Can I get a direct USB link to upload you the data, champ? What's wrong? We talking Ortiz, Brook. Not Sean Porter.
Well, to be fair though, he is ranked fairly high in what or WBO. My bad. You said it.
You said WBA last time.
No,
yeah,
I said
WBO.
WBO. He's number 2. If Brook fought him, Eddie could sit him down.
No, you know what it was? I thought it was WBC myself. So when you had said that, it fucked me up. But fine, that wasn't the point. I just forgot what it was. But
all I'm saying
he's higher ranked in there. But at the end of the day, like, that makes no sense. Like, he's not going to get these routes. He's not going to get Terrence Crawford fight. Like, come on. Are you serious right now?
Like
so then we go the Kell Brook route. We go the Kell Brook route because ultimately what Kell Brook does, yeah, title's great and everything, but at the end of the day, what Kell Brook does is expose him to another audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, it opens up his wallet and his
it helps
cards
his popularity.
on his table.
It helps his popularity. Kell Brook's been in there
Simply
with
said,
Earl.
yes.
Kell Brook's been in there with Earl. Dazn is already running with that. They've reposted the picture of him and Earl so many times already. You know, they've made articles on the Dazn.com so many times about that. This just puts him in that conversation even deeper. It's a common opponent with Earl. What can he do? It's a former world champion. And again, all the wrong reasons for Crawford, who's pound for pound, and I don't expect him to have these advantages, we give them to Ortiz because that's what is expected of a 22-year-old up-and-coming contender prospect facing a former world champion. You're supposed to face an older former world champion. You're supposed to face a dude like Kell Brook that hasn't been at welterweight in 3 years. For a pound-for-pound number one, that looks different. It doesn't translate the same that it would for Vergil. For Vergil, Kell Brook could be a big fight because it represents his biggest step up till date. All pun intended, it might even be the same for in some arguments, it might be the same for Crawford, but this is not his show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I got people, I'm seeing it in the chat, I'm getting messages. People just don't believe that anyone's going to take that risk against what they're calling a contender in Vergil. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think because, ultimately this guy's fresh. He's green. There is a way you can get him. Let's not pretend like Sammy wasn't landing shots on Verge. He was. I'm not saying they were big shots, but he was. He had success. What would a fighter like Kell Brook do?
Yo, did you... And I'm not saying it sarcastically. I'm willing to repeat it. I feel like there's something there. Did you guys hear me when I said that maybe Eddie could just sit Kell Brook down, being as though they both fight for Dazn? Vergil's ranked number 2. Crawford is the champion. If you sit Kell Brook down and convince him by beating the guy you don't want to fight because you feel he's not on your level and it's a step back, you gain that mandatory position, which is a mandatory split, which is no rematch. So if you do happen to beat Crawford, you are in charge. I don't know if y'all heard. That's why I'm saying Kell Brook is realistic. Not only is he with Dazn, he's with Eddie, who's with Dazn. He wants a fight. He wants Crawford. And this just sweetens the deal for him.
Yeah, I also think that it's better for Kell Brook, who's been out as long as he has and hasn't fought at the division as long as he has, to take a slower road, to jump into a Crawford fight automatically. We know what that is. That's a payday. So is Kell Brook wanting to just get paid out the rest of his career, without any real hopes of becoming champion or actually making it up the ranks? Or does he just simply want the most money on the table? I think that's what it comes down to him on his side.
Yeah, he's gonna want to get paid for Vergil Ortiz. You might have said that it might be a lighter route, but I don't think it's a lighter route. It's just another tough route without guarantee of a title fighter.
Money.
Yeah, or more money. So he's gonna want some money at Vergil Ortiz.
There is a guarantee, because again, it is my belief. Obviously, this is not fact, but if you go off history, they could absolutely make Vergil Ortiz, who's the number 2, and Kell Brook with his fame and, he has no respect in the WBO. He was an IBF boy. But that doesn't matter. My point is his name will garner an eliminator for Crawford.
Yes.
So
I can see that, yeah.
So that is your mandatory. That is your guarantee. You understand? There is a guarantee. The upside is that by doing it this way, Crawford can't tell you, take this, plus if you beat me, we got a rematch in my place when I said no. If you do it this way and you beat him, you get to walk away. You understand that?
Yeah, It gives you more cards at the table for the negotiations. And in some cases, things are already ironed out if you become that mandatory. Here's the thing. I don't know if Golden Boy can get, or Vergil Hunter if Vergil Ortiz can get this accomplished without even having to go the Kell Brook route. Like, could they get a mandatory against somebody who's, not even as good as a Kell Brook? I mean, I know a lot of people think he's washed and finished, but for Verge, do they have their sights set on somebody?
You mean can Golden Boy accomplish the eliminator for Vergil without the risk of Kell Brook?
Yeah, did I say that? Or didn't say that?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I meant to say. So thank you.
I mean, you said it in your own way.
In my weird old ranting way.
All right, so here's the realistic options. Let me just show everybody what's going on here on our rankings at theboxingvoice.com, which we put them beautifully all before you, and you can see down at the bottoms the last date they were updated. They get updated every time the sanctioning bodies update. We're talking Vergil Ortiz. As you can see, he's number 2 in the WBO. Terrence Crawford is the champion in that division. Danny is the number 1, and this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Danny's going this way. Boom. WBC. Then you got Vergil number 2. Mikey's there. Vergil can't fight Mikey. That's his trainer's brother, stablemate, mentor, friend. He's out. Sean Porter, no way he fights on Dazn, or no way that manager, father Ken Porter, allows some fake eliminator for a WBO belt when they didn't even want to pick up the phone to send him an offer, okay? So he's not going to get in an eliminator with Vergil to fight in the future with Crawford when Crawford never called them and Bob never called them. It's not going to happen. No one cares for Mika Shanana, I don't know. Castillo Clayton, okay, but he's number 6. No one's seen him fight here in America. I think Kell Brook is the realest option. Can they find something simpler like we don't know how tough or durable Shanana is. I don't know who's Michael Mickinson. We know Luther Clay is going to be fighting our guest that's scheduled Wednesday at 11, Chris Congo. Jerron Ennis is also scheduled. Aegis, that's a great fight, but that's a top-ranked fight. Top Rank's going to have to lend Aegis' services to Dazn, and that becomes expensive. Remember, we're talking pandemic. We're talking trying to keep things in-house to make it flow easier, not break the wallet. We might be reporting later to tell you all the details and gossip when it comes to Dazn and Canelo. There's some fishy stuff happening there that we might talk about later. So keeping it in-house, I believe, makes things work. Now, Kell Brook isn't in these rankings. So again, for Kell Brook, if he happens to be some sort of version of Kell Brook that thinks he's high and mighty, you sit him down and you say, look, champ, you're not even ranked. Yeah, Crawford will fight you. Yeah, Bob will fight you. But what offer would they give you with no ranking and just a name? Let's get this kid in an eliminator. Let's show them that we got negotiation power. And guess what? We might not have to use the eliminator as a negotiation tactic. They might understand that if they don't give you a good first offer and we do go to purse bid, they lose their right to a rematch. You understand? Like, people that know boxing know boxing. By putting himself in that position, he only strengthens that offer coming from Bob, because Bob knows, damn, if Eddie outbids me and this fight happens in Sheffield and Crawford somehow gets robbed, I don't got a rematch clause. Like, I'm just thinking,
what case can you make for Thurman? I'm like, this whole time I've been trying to think, like,
for Thurman, I mean, it's got to be totally up to him and Al to be willing to go do, it's like this, right?
But where's the incentive? Like,
there is none. There is none.
Right? Okay.
Incentive,
I was scratching my head.
His incentive is all egotistical, right? So it's like, tables turn, young fella. You was the unified. Now you want to fight me, Earl Spence, the unified. Get out of here. You ain't getting no shot. How do you get a shot? You show the world you ain't just looking for a payday. You show the world you really are still Keith one-time Thurman. You go take out a perceived to be up-and-coming, heavily touted welterweight. Get him out of here. And take that eliminator spot while you at it. Because Thurman is ranked in the WBO at number 8. So they could absolutely, positively get an 8 and a 2 approved for an eliminator.
Listen, it's not that I wouldn't love that fight, because I would love that fight. But my whole thing is that it's not just that the incentive is ego. It's that we already know his feelings on giving the perceived younger, fresher, and even less
But that was a past Thurman
fighters.
Though. Past
sure,
Thurman.
Okay.
No belt Thurman. He again.
But if that's his logic as he maneuvers through boxing, like, then we have to understand, like, that's his stance. Like, that's where he is.
I just think that was a different Thurman, man. That was Thurman on the Iron Throne. 2 belt Thurman.
It was, you're right.
Options to fight Pacquiao Thurman. This is post-fight Thurman. Bubble burst Thurman. You know, I got dropped Thurman.
Bubble burst Thurman.
Whoa,
damn.
champ. My man called you T-Rex. Thurman sold the shit out that fight.
Yeah,
and then the egg is on him. Like, yeah, I'm a true fan. No one ever landed more right hands on Pacquiao. Not Floyd, not Marquez, nobody. Did Marquez land a better one? I guess it's arguable because he flattened him. But nobody did what Thurman did, but he lost. His bubble burst and so did Mons. You know, he's got to reset. And you see, and now he's realizing, damn, the bubble truly burst because now I can't get the young boy Earl Spence who was chasing me to fight me? Damn, where I'm gonna go? Danny, what up? Let's do that rematch, champ. Oh, nah, I'm fighting Earl. I want 2 belts. Like, I'm on the cold, I'm on the outside. What, I gotta fight Porter again for no belt? For nothing? I'm telling you, tables turn. Bubble burst. It's on you now what you want to do. You want to change the perception. Listen, I'm a true Thurman fan. These dudes disrespect Thurman. Oh, Thurman's done. Thurman's washed. Sometimes. Run time. No time. Never one time. Never one time. They think he's done.
He used to be one time.
They think he's done. They say the injuries, the shoulders, the hands, the wife, sleeping on silk sheets. You know, he took too much time off. When's the last time you heard a good comment about Thurman if it ain't come out my mouth? People don't think Thurman's the goods no more. Long time ago, that's been out the window. So he could use a Vergil Ortiz stoppage, showing people like, man, y'all should have never put that young boy in there with me. It's one time, not sometimes, all the time. And now Earl Spence, who run time now? That's how you do it, but they need me as a motherfucking publicist. You understand? They need me.
I see the selling point. I see it.
Yeah. Look, it's there. You got to want to be great. And people are like, oh, you always big enough for Gabe. Yeah, because Gabe wanted to be great. He jumped up a division, got in there with Gennady. You know what I mean? He was a mandatory at one point for Canelo. He earned his way there. He got in there with a big puncher in Quillen. He got in there with a talented boxer in Jamel Charlo. Like, he not afraid to get in there. And he never afraid. He showed you that in the Jay Leon love fight. Like, it's always real for him. So I just want dudes that willing to show us that they good and that they still got it. Not dudes that say, yo, I still got it, but meanwhile waiting only for specific opportunities. Make that opportunity happen, Thurman. I'm still a fan. Go make that happen. You know? People over here talking, I know that ain't you, Rob, still talking old Brook numbers, man. Again, tables turned, man. Thurman was a champ too. None of that matters. What you used to do don't matter no more.
This is like
Brook
the changing of the guard, right?
Absolutely.
This is like names like Thurman and Brook that have been around forever. Porter, you got to make room for the new guys at the table, but the new guys at the table got to give them a reason to want to be in there. And being Mexican in boxing, like, they'll bring the crowd, and if you can beat them in front of it, who knows what kind of, fan base that opens you up to. But, I
guess Doomy has absolutely nothing to say. He's just gonna read the chat all day.
Nah, I got nothing. You covered it, man. I'm over here just looking at other things to say.
No, I mean, what happened? What about the fight? How does Vergil do versus a Thurman?
Yeah, I mean Keith Thurman is going to be the more experienced fighter, but Vergil Ortiz, he has that veracity. That's what he got going for him. He's able to get enough aggression to where he really pins guys against the ropes and really has them flustered. So Keith Thurman, he's a cerebral fighter, IQ fighter. He's gonna fight on the back foot with a guy like that, and he's gonna land shots from the counters. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. When I saw Josecito Lopez hit, Keith Thurman was really, really looking bad, man. And
I think that's one of the main reasons Vergil wants Thurman. Josecito is a stablemate. He spars Josecito. So I'm sure he does better, and he thinks, man, I could do this, and he did that. I'm sure they had the conversation like, damn, dude, you almost had him in the 7th round, fool. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So,
yep.
I know how it's going down.
Yep,
Yo.
so, yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, so just seeing that, that matchup with Josecito, it doesn't scare me because I know that Thurman, he can actually push through those hardships in the ring. He's mentally tough. That's what I can give Keith Thurman. He's very mentally tough, but it's not an easy fight. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm going up there, I'm gonna take your slot, and I'm just going on and I'm gonna start yelling again towards Earl. It's a very tough fight. So it could also be a fight that could finish him. The young lion kills the old lion. Vergil Ortiz, if I was Vergil Ortiz, yeah, I'd take that fight.
From your trainer's standpoint, right? Which one do you think is more winnable for Vergil? Brook, who hasn't fought at welterweight in 3 years, and last fight was versus Earl where he lost.
Brook, man. Brook is the easier fight. And I know I'm probably going to get nailed to the cross from the UK, but, come on, guys. He's already been destroyed by aggressive fighters. Vergil Ortiz is going to jump on that boy and put that pressure that you saw him put on your man Vargas, and it's not going to look good. He's going to crumble, man. He's going to crumble. The cookie or the chocolate brownie has already crumbled a couple of times.
Yo, they called my boy Keith Downtime Thurman. Yo, stop playing, yo. Oh, man.
Is it fair to ask who the better puncher is between Thurman and Verge? And I don't mean the harder puncher or the bigger puncher, but the overall better puncher, encompassing, their angles, mixing it up, are they equally as effective to the body as the head? I think I would lean towards Thurman in the overall sense, but I don't know, man. Verge can crack though. I don't know. That's a tough one for me.
Nah, Vergil, take the Kell Brook. If you can really get Kell Brook, take Kell Brook. International, they'll know you more in
Hell yeah, it'll build his flavor. I don't see why this fight hasn't been talked about. We got a super chat from Sarcastic Sarcasm. Ortiz versus Red Check. Take your time, Vergil. I get it, but if you're DAZN and PBC, why are you going to negotiate for that fight? Why are we going to go to the table for that? We going to go to the table to negotiate Red Catch? Come on, man. And no disrespect to Red Catch, but didn't he just lose his last welterweight fight? I guess that makes sense. I guess coming off of laws, Vergil could get him. He's got some sort of experience, but I don't know what does Red Catch.
It depends where you get Vargas. Where do you put Vargas and Red Check next to each other? But this is what
I'm saying. What does Red Catch bring that Vargas didn't already? You understand? Vargas been in there with bigger elite welterweight names. Red Catch is a 30-pounder. This transition into 47, I don't know. I get y'all, but that wouldn't be my first choice. Nah.
And these are fights that can, that are feasible, right? There's some other names being tossed around. Josh Kelly. I'm
yeah, that's feasible, but there's no way. Listen to me, Eddie, bro, Scott. You must not be from the UK, Scott, because. There's no way Eddie does Josh Kelly versus Ortiz, bro. Like Kelly lost to Ray Robinson, I believe, and got a gift, and bro, like he's just never panned out. There's no way they'll put him in. He gets hit too. He thinks he's pretty boy Kelly, so he fights like in this really cute style and be getting hit. You kidding me? If Vergil has the power that everyone thinks he does, he would sleep Kelly just on sheer like lack of defense on Kelly's side. There's no way.
He's ranked higher anyway than Josh Kelly in the WBC.
There's no way. Listen to me. There's no way. I don't believe there's any way that Matchroom puts Ortiz and Kelly in next. No way. No way. You know, Ray Robinson, on the other hand, is a guy that beat Kelly, a guy that beat Velasquez and didn't get those wins. So he's a guy amongst the boxing world that's a true tough-nosed vet that if you wanna keep going, you know, sideways but slightly up with Vergil, taking your time, that's a good way to go too. I just think that the Kell Brook gives him more notoriety. And it doesn't do anything in terms of rushing him because he's not ranked. You know what I mean? They still can do what they want the way that they want to do it. But
the other guys are busy, huh?
Luis Ortiz trainer said to give him a few minutes. He said 2, so we're just waiting for him to jump on.
So Herman Caicedo, right? Caicedo?
Yeah.
There's a couple. I'm about Sergey Lipin. Oh no, Sergey Lipin he's got Curuchillo.
Yeah, but I mean
problems.
That lines it up though pretty well. I think he beats him, and then you could make that fight.
This fight's it's in October with Curuchillo. I guess the winner of that.
Lipin Yates?
Yeah, Lipin Yates.
Yeah, but you never know. From here to October, that fight might get put as the eliminator, right? For the IBF though.
Yeah.
Or it is already an eliminator. But we got a super chat from, what is that? Ramonte
Lidri Stevens. Says from Vargas to Thurman. Wow, that's huge jump in talent.
True, but that's also why I'm saying Kell Brook, man. Or Kell Brook, guys. You know?
Kell Brook.
Yeah. See, look, Stu Boxing is saying that he doesn't think Ray Robinson will get the fight. It's too much of a spoiler. That's exactly why you give it to him, because the hardcores know what he is, and they'll give Vergil true respect amongst boxing purists and writers. But we got Jared Lloyd, Doomy.
He should fight the bum Lord Crawford. He will give the pedestrian beater a run for his money. Ortiz is way more dangerous than the quote-unquote legendary green beans. Call Father Bob and put the pressure on to make the fight.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ready for Crawford the way he was missing all those shots with Vargas. He's nowhere near ready for Crawford, bro. Like, get in there with Kell Brook, who's a nice, straight fighter. What disrespect, Rizzy? What I say now? Get in there with Kell Brook, who's a nice, straight fighter, good 1-2. You know, plus he might be drained. He ain't been at 147 in years.
Yo, I think Ray Robinson could get that fight. I mean, he's not like a big spoiler.
He's not. I mean, he's a spoiler. He's a spoiler, and they know him.
He's a spoiler.
They know him. They know him firsthand because of Josh Kelly. But I just feel like, yo, if you're DAZN, you need subs. Ray ain't bringing no subs.
Exactly.
Kell Brook Ortiz is more subs. Remember, Kell Brook came over here like in 1997 and fought Porter for his first title. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't even say nothing on that. Y'all corny, man. These guys are asleep, y'all. Y'all see this? I said 1997. They just all chilling right there. Sleepies,
I'm sorry. I read a
look at him.
Vindictive
Sleepies,
Amir Khan message that I'm not even gonna read. Not even gonna entertain this stupidity.
Bro,
Yo, but Amir
that's
Khan
a
beats
good name.
Vergil.
So what? They're gonna.
That's a good name. I didn't think of that, but I don't think it's possible. Amir Khan, you know, he made like $7 million for Killy Dib.
Yeah,
Billy
I agree.
Kid.
He wins.
Who'd he fought? Billy the Kid? What was his name?
Billy the Kid.
He's on his Western.
Billy
shit.
Dib.
Got that Billy.
Yeah, he fought Billy the Kid. I mean Billy Dib, and he made like $7 million for that. He ain't trying to fight Vergil.
I thought you were trolling us. I thought you were calling him Billy the Kid. Like, what's his name, Billy the Kid? Like, you were clowning him.
Nah, I made a mistake, but it just all worked out.
Yo, do you see Eddie actually, sending Kell Brook off to Vergil Ortiz that?
I mean, again, it's not sending off. Y'all on the same network.
No, but I mean sending off and like he's basically getting served up, right? To a young, hungry lion.
How is this served up? Yo, I don't know, man. Do you fools watch boxing or do you just skim through it? Listen, Samuel Vargas just went 7 rounds, dog. Samuel Vargas was walking Vergil down, hitting him to the body. Samuel Vargas, he's Canadian. Go ahead.
He wasn't walking
What's
him
wrong
down.
with that?
Play the soundbite. Hey, what happened? Come on, bro.
It was an entertaining fight. I mean, listen, you know, the Yankees play Red Sox, you know, the other team scores too. Like, it's not about getting somebody in a shutout. And that's the thing. We want to see him in tougher fights where guys are going to crack back.
Kell Brook. So essentially, you're saying Kell Brook is more of a threat, right, than Samuel Vargas, and is going to present more problems than Samuel Vargas. Right? Or yes.
I mean,
I think Kell Brook definitely presents more of a threat than Samuel Vargas and has a huge chance to win. Look at all the shots.
He definitely has a better chance.
Look at all the huge chance to win. Look at all the shots Vargas
missed. So he's the favorite?
I said huge chance to win. I ain't say he's favorite. Why are you going to be favored 3 years out of the welterweight division?
That's what I was saying. I didn't really get it.
But Doggy, I know for a fact Kell Brook counters better than Vargas.
He counters better. Yeah, he got a nice counter.
Yes, he
good
was.
Step back uppercut counter too.
Yes, he was walking him down. Was it for 30 seconds of the round? No. But he absolutely, countered to the body and walked Vargas back by punching to the body. Stop lying.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you can't say the truth about Verge no more, huh?
Yo.
Let that have been Kell Brook.
Yo, Kell Brook. Look, this is my opinion, right? I think Samuel Vargas at this point.
Mello said, "Hey, what's wrong with Canada? Castillo gonna beat Crawford if they take that fight."
Yeah,
Ortiz versus Hooker, Carlito. We talked about this yesterday. It's a aight fight, but remember, it would be another kind of like. I would still prefer Kell Brook, right? Because Hooker's in the same situation as Kell Brook. It's like, is he really a welterweight? He's just moving up. Ooh. At least we know Kell Brook was a former world champ that was in with real good names.
Yeah, but still, at this point, Kell Brook's just he's been through too many wars where he's been broken down, and I think that affects you mentally, man. I don't think that they would serve him up to Vergil Ortiz unless it's super lucrative, something that really like it's really enticing to Eddie and Kell Brook, because it is serving him up in a way. You know, you're going out. I mean, I don't know if you're taking a look at. Don't take a look at Vergil Ortiz just for the young fighter he is.
Bruh.
Hold the train. Hold the train on. Oh, we're moving it too fast. Look at him for what he is. He's a ferocious fighter, in shape, ready to take on whoever, and he's never had any other attitude. This kid is special. So if you're setting off Kell Brook, you better be paying him off really good, because he's not going to go in. He might get broken down and finished and not come back, brother. Vergil Ortiz is the type of guy that can hurt.
Whatever happened to being strategic? Why they can't be on the outside looking in like, bro, this guy's right for the taking. Look at him. Look at those wild right hands. Eddie, I hit him with these chocolate brownies. You know?
He gonna be eating them chocolate brownies, washing them down with some tea after.
Yo, uppercuts, man. And who landed a beautiful uppercut on Gennady? Kell Brook.
Bro,
Super Chat. Go ahead.
Jarrett Lloyd says, I feel he is ready. Thurman and Brook are tougher fights for him and have better resumes. Bum Crawford is the weakest champ at 147. Green Beans ain't no Hall of Famer, and a one-legged man gave him a tough fight.
Yeah, but those guys, I mean, I don't know nothing about Green Beans, but the other guy had experience, bro. Benavidez, he's been around the amateur circuit, and he had fought Herrera years ago when Herrera was more alive.
Yeah, he was. He had way more gas.
Definitely.
You want to get the Matt?
Machine
Gun?
Machine Gun Matt says Vergil isn't ready for Thurman. If Vargas can miss those shotgun right hands and hit the body, imagine what Keith can do. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Guys, looks like we got our first guest. Herman, I'm gonna let you pronounce your last name, right? Because I told my co-host who's Hondureño your last name, and he says, bro, that's not how you pronounce it. And I said, all right, well, we're going to ask him. Because as you can see, I spelled your name wrong, too. I had spelled it with an H. You spell it with a G. You're confusing me all around, so help me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that started in elementary school with a G for German, and it was just fight after fight. So it was, changed by me, nothing legally, to an H to just have people pronounce it Herman. But in Spanish, the G is pronounced like an H. It's Herman. The last name is Caicedo.
Caicedo. All right. So I definitely was pronouncing it wrong all these years. Oh, my God. I'm horrible at pronunciation.
That's all right. Nobody gets it right. Don't worry.
So how are you, man? How are you?
Well, given the circumstances, I guess I'm okay. Things could be better for everyone around the world, obviously. But, given the circumstances, I'm blessed that at least there's some fights that are being scheduled with some of my guys, and I'm looking forward to that. And I mean, other than that, okay. No, nothing tragic with any friends or family with the virus. So that's again blessed with that as well.
That's actually great news. Happy to hear that. So listen, I will tell you the 3 guys that I can remember. I know you got more. But obviously, Luis Ortiz is what everyone should know you most for. But I'm very interested in, you talking about Jaime Abolera today. And you also got Carlos Negron, who we got scheduled for Wednesday. But what other fighters are you working with that we don't know of and I'm leaving out?
Well, besides the 2 that you just mentioned, Negron and Jamie, who are, Jamie's a soon-to-be world champion, no doubt at 130. I really impressed with his fundamentals, and am just, excited to work on moving forward with him. Only after 2 fights with him, moving forward with just a little bit better conditioning and a little bit better. Managing a 12-round fight, which was, evident in his last fight, how he mismanaged it, and then it showed in the last round. So, that's just something that experience and some training will do. Negron got a beautiful first-round stoppage of undefeated Cuban Robbie Alfonso, and we're hoping for great things for Negron. He came a tough 2019 for him last year with back-to-back losses, and he's looking to turn that around. But I got Michel Rivera, 135-pound Dominican fighter, undefeated.
I forgot
little
about him.
Superstar in the making.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Lazada,
fantastic.
or is it?
La Zarza. Yeah, La Zarza.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Zarza.
I seen his last fight. Yeah, no, he's the goods. He looks really good.
Yeah, no.
Can I just interrupt to ask some questions about him? Does he live there with you? Because I know you got your kind of like home base where fighters come and stay with you. Does he stay there with you, or is he back and forth from DR?
He's been here for... He would love to go back and forth. Obviously, I don't permit that in the immediate stages of training, like when we first hook up, because progress needs to be made, and it's difficult to be made back and forth, after every fight. Guys nowadays at 4-0 after their 4th fight think they're superstars and want a 2-month vacation and party and celebrate. Like, what the hell did you do? You just won your 4th fight. So I don't permit that. If you want to train with me, you got to stick it out. You got to sacrifice. And yeah, he's been here 14 months straight. He did go home obviously for yeah. So he's been sacrificing. He's a young kid. That's a lot to say about a young kid who will do that and leave, family, friends, girlfriends, and really stick it out. So I admire that because I've had fighters with equal talent and futures, just they couldn't hack it. They couldn't take it. They'd leave after 30 days, 60 days, whatever. It's not easy, but we talked about this yesterday, Michelle and I, and it's like, after a while it's numb. It's family here. So it's like, it's you're just home, so, and that's a good thing when that happens, because then real progress can get started. And I tell them all the time, they got so much life to live still, but with boxing, they have such a short window to make all the money they can make for the rest of their life. So if you give it in all 100%, if you just dedicate everything, there's a possibility that, that you can do well for yourself. There's no guarantees that anyone will ever make Mayweather money or that kind of money, but at least they'll do a lot better than he was doing in Dominican Republic 2 years ago, and he'll set his family up and himself up. So, he what about Michelle? What he does really well, besides his boxing ability, is he listens very well. He takes to advice. He listens to his elders, and that's rare in young kids these days, and he does it. So I think that's why he's able to overcome. Don't get me wrong; he misses home like hell, he says, but he's willing to sacrifice.
Man, that's actually fantastic news. I hate to tell you the truth. I'm one of those guys that kind of tries to keep the stigma of Dominican fighters having a lack of discipline in my listeners' ears. I don't want them to automatically fall in love with a Dominican because they are on the bottom of the totem pole in terms of discipline. But this crop,
they'll disappoint. That's for sure.
Yeah, but this new crop, the Zaras and the Rosarios that are relocating, Payano relocated. Those relocated Dominicans I get behind, because that shows that hunger that is necessary. But all right, I stopped you in the middle of
I agree with you. Yeah.
I stopped you in the middle of you giving out obviously I stopped you because you mentioned any others? Any others?
Michelle Rivera, you mentioned Juan Carlos Payano. He's one of my oldies that's been here from the conception of my concept. He's been with me 10 years. He doesn't live here in the gym anymore, but he was scheduled to fight. His opponent caught the virus, and the fight had to be rescheduled to September. But he had been living here already 8 weeks, and for him, it's no big deal because he spent the first 8 years of his career down here, living in room number 2, and he knows exactly what this sacrifice will do for you, and which is, I think, why at 118, at 34 years old, he's able to still be very viable because of the discipline that he shows and how he maintains himself healthy. I got an African kid, 160-pound African by the name of Habib Ahmed. He's only lost to Gilberto Ramirez at 168 recently, like last year, and since then he's come down to 160. Probably could even do 154. Would be a very big, powerful 154, but 160 is probably more the weight that he's going to stay at. He's like 29-1. I got a heavyweight undefeated, 18-0 coming up. His name is Cassius Chaney. He's 18-0. He's living here, and he's impressed a lot of us here by actually, sacrificing. And this is an American heavyweight from I believe he's from Connecticut. So the last thing he's used to is being confined in the gym. Yeah.
We know him very, very well. We've interviewed him countless times, and we actually talked to him, I think, about a week ago, and he let us know. I seen his Instagram, and I seen him down there with Negron, and I'm like, wait. And then he told me the story that he's no longer with Calvin Ford, and he changed to you. Can you just give us your version of how you connected with him?
Cassius I used to spar when I was prepping Negron for Dominic Brazil, and I don't know how I came across him, or if Negron's managers found him, and nevertheless he did come, and everything about him was professional. everything about him was respectful. Everything about him was, how can I help and what can I do? And although, at the time he was helping us get ready and it was a sparring scenario, he never.
Damn, gotta reconnect them. Yo.
Oh, good. But this Cassius Chaney, man, he looks like a problem.
Yo, it's like a dorm over there, huh?
Yeah.
You got like a school.
I seen the documentary one they had where Colbert was young. Chris Colbert was young.
Yeah. It's a little closet, bro. Like the fact that Chaney's doing that, bro, my man's gonna be a world champ. Anyone that can sacrifice that at this age, at this stage of their career, I think he's like 16.
It's no joke. It's no joke.
Nah, man, the hunger is retarded. Like he's gonna want that. He's gonna get that win.
I'm gonna have to start paying more attention to this man. How old is he?
Who?
Let's just take a look at him. Chaney. He's 33.
Herman, if you can hear us, we got to reconnect you. It looks like we disconnected. Hopefully you don't hear us because, you wouldn't be knowing what's going on.
Definitely 6'6".
I've never heard it cut off like that before.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I could help. I meant what I said, and here he is, 6 months later.
All right. Well, look, man, we definitely are looking forward to seeing great things from Cassius. Like I was telling my co-host, I feel like anyone at this age, this stage of their career that can go down there, relocate, and stay in your compound for that long, bro. I mean, like I said, we talked to him. He doesn't even go out at night. Like he's just
no. He really is a big nerd.
Yeah, he just likes to
really
be there
and
work out. So I envision him being a champion right away, man. I can't wait for a co-promotion or something. I hope Main Events can do something with him or he can get out that contract. That being said, who else do you have? You stopped that Chaney.
Yeah. There's Levan Navarro. He's a Cuban 147-pounder, 10-0, 11-0, part of the King Kong stable, and he's also a very exciting, very aggressive, very offensive-minded fighter who you guys are gonna, when he finally breaks out, he fights August 22nd on a PBC card. I don't know that it'll be televised, but he will be soon, I'm sure, highlighted on the PBC events because he just recently, joined their ranks. And who else? Let me see. Let me look at. I look at the rooms. I'm looking at the rooms now and looking to see who I miss. Jamie Arboleda. And no, I think that's it as far as fighters. It's not a ton, but it is enough to keep me busy, and it is enough definitely to have me, 10 hours a day, So
no, that's a handful.
It's an exciting group. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't do it alone. I got a fantastic assistant coach, strength coach.
Who is your assistant?
I can't do this alone.
Who's your assistant and who's your strength coach?
Well, he does both. His name is Yuka Tavola. He's from Las Vegas, and we got together with the Ortiz Wilder fight, and since then, he's relocated, to Florida, to Miami. He comes in, he stays about 3 weeks, he goes home for about 4 days, and just has been doing that for about 8 months now, and it's alone you can't do this, and he's a phenomenal strength and conditioning coach, one of the best therapists. I met him initially as a therapist, and you don't necessarily know someone till you know him, right? But I met him as a therapist and then realized that, little by little, in conversations we would have over the course of 4 months in camp in Vegas, that he really knew what he was talking about and never once, tried to step on any toes on the current conditioning scenario we had set up. So after the fight, we spoke and he came down, and so he does all of our therapy. I tell you, next to Jesus Christ touching you and healing you, I don't know that anyone can do better at what he does therapeutically with massages. And, oh, man, I'm not bullshitting. I tell you not. And then, as far as an assistant, he's been a gym owner, a boxing gym owner in Las Vegas for close to 15 years. He owns Las Vegas Fight Club, but he's very behind the scenes. He doesn't run it. He doesn't, pretend to do any of that. He owns the gym, and he has his coaches that run the gym there and have the setup there. But he's very familiar with boxing and knows boxing, and is just one of these guys that knows, a lot of a lot of things. And I think I'm blessed to have met him and be working with him now, because our stable is going to be that much stronger. Some of the success I was having, where I was, trying to do a lot of the things myself, because I do know strength and conditioning enough to know that you're doing it wrong, let's say. But I don't think I know it enough to formulate an actual plan from start to finish in 12 weeks. Let's see how I can take you from A to B, like I can with boxing and the strategies involved in boxing and the strategies involved in a game plan with boxing. I definitely can do that. So, but I do know if you're doing it right or wrong. And not once have I seen him doing something that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Starting with Lewis, you got a guy that's just joining a camp. Initially, you're going to have people just gung ho that so excited to be in camp are going to take a 40-year-old fighter and run him through the ringer, and then he's no good in week 2, because they can't recover the same way. So what I enjoyed watching was how he understood that immediately and was basically, just little by little letting loose of how he was training Lewis and the things he did with Lewis. And that let me, immediately look, this guy knows what he's doing, because I've had, other strength and conditioning coaches and so forth and so on, and they jump right in 2 feet. You gotta definitely admire that they're willing to jump in 2 feet. But then they end up doing damage just because they run a guy like he's 20 when he's 40,
Absolutely.
So,
that's very
with that being said, oh, yeah, no, big time. That's everything, because you're going to look good for 2 weeks, but then you fall apart for about 3 weeks, assuming you don't get injured. That's just your body shut down, So that's been a really good process. We've been together now close to 6-7 months, and we're talking about other things also, potentially maybe even setting up the same scenario here in Vegas and having like a multifacet camp, where we would be able to do what we do in Miami in Vegas as well, and I would do a little commuting as well. So we'll see how the future comes and what happens out of this post-corona, but I'm excited, that's for sure.
Beautiful. So listen, man, I've been dying to interview you because I'm a fan of Jaime, but I want to say I thought he might have not got that win versus Velez. I was like, Velez, I felt like turned the clock around. Did you expect the Jason Velez you got in that Jaime fight?
Well, yeah. Always. 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, that's important to me because Jaime.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Velez surprised maybe a lot of people, but not myself, because I've had, for example, Negron being Puerto Rican and being here was basically, letting me know, on a daily basis, this guy will come to fight. His skills are limited, but he is in the top shape, and he focuses on that, right? So I kind of knew that, this guy's going to be in top shape. And so moving forward, we prepared for that. But like I said earlier about Jamie mismanaging the 12 rounds is he got a little bit excited and allowed Velez to come back in the later rounds when Jamie was already a little bit tired, right? So when he was hitting to the body, so I'm going to say the first few rounds, I'll break it down for you. The first few rounds were potentially maybe Jason's rounds, definitely 1 and 2. 3, I think already Jamie started picking up the rounds, but from round 4 to maybe round 9 or 10, my guy, Jamie, really dominated the power punch scenario, the body shot scenario. As a matter of fact, there were 2 rounds that Jamie nearly stopped him with body shots, but he let up. he let up on the body shots and he went to the head. He got head hungry. He wanted the KO, highlight in a headshot, and allowed Velez to recover, because the one thing he does have is that he's in great shape, and then come back in the 11th and the 12th round and in the championship rounds. And obviously those are crucial rounds, because sometimes a couple things happen. Judges completely fall asleep from rounds 1 through 10 and only watch 11 and 12, and whoever wins those wins the fight. Or it was close enough where it was an even fight until 11 and 12. I didn't believe so. I believe we ran away with the fight like the judges had it, where Jamie won by a small margin. But I think he looked better, and then that knockdown obviously helped Jason squeak a little closer. But I don't think he lost the fight. What I did, and I will be honest, what I did tell Jamie, after the fight immediately, was my assessment ringside there was, I said, we won by a small margin, or at the very least, it's going to be a draw.
I mean,
and I don't disagree with what you're saying.
I
do believe where you can see.
I didn't score it, so it's just from watching it. It was like Jaime was dominating the beginning, and it felt like he got a little bit gassed. Then there was a knockdown, but that's neither here nor there, because the real juicy, exciting part is that Chris Colbert announced that he was going to be fighting Jason Velez. Then Top Rank obviously offered Velez more money for Valdez, and that was even a good fight.
Correct.
And then we find out.
Great fight.
Then we find out that Colbert is going to be fighting Abolera, and I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Because Jaime can punch, and I love Colbert, but I don't know that he's a big enough puncher to keep Jaime off him. What did you think about that fight when they called you for it? And, I mean, how fast did you guys jump at it? Did you have to think? Were there other options? Because that is a fantastic fight.
So there's very few fights that I'm going to, turn down, for any fighter, especially guys already in the level where they need to, show their stuff, right? I mean, at some point you got to show your goods. You can't just keep, picking and choosing, because at the end of the day, that won't get a fighter anywhere, A, and B, it definitely is not necessarily a recipe to end up being a champion one day. I'd rather lose in a step-up fight, tough, grueling fight like Jamie had with Velez, than potentially, lose to an opponent who you were supposed to beat because maybe you fell asleep in training on the kid and he showed up. Every opponent's fight, true opponent's fight, is their championship fight. And some guys really believe it and get up for it and say, I'm not going to lose anymore. That's it. I'm just not going to lose anymore. And at the end of the day, that's always a risk. So I'd rather risk it, with a better scenario. As far as Colbert is concerned, I know Chris very, very well. He came down to help me prepare for Payano when we were fighting Rashid Warren. And I liked him very much.
But that version of Colbert, because I know Chris very well, and he tells me that version of him that was down there with Payano is what created this version of him. He went down there and he thought he was just going to spar Payano and it was going to be no big deal. Payano was in fantastic shape. Obviously, Chris Colbert got a little bit tired, and have him tell it is when he realized that he needed to train like a world champion. So, it's still going to be a different version of Chris.
No, without a doubt. I'm not trying to compare Chris from when he was here 2 years ago, to Chris today. Everybody is different, even from yesterday. That's definitely the scenario. And I believe that Chris, enjoys his success and doesn't want to lose it. And one thing about Chris is that if anybody believes in Chris, it's Chris. It's nobody's a more on board about himself than himself, and that's a great thing about him. That's his bravado and his confidence is through the roof. And man, if fighters have that and then you put a little bit of skill, which he has a lot of skill, you have world champions, right? I mean, that's Mayweather, right? But difference is, like you said, Chris at 130 pounds is, I think, going to find a little bit harder to keep like guys that obviously Jamie can take a punch. He proved it in the Jason fight, which obviously Jason can punch more, harder and more at a power rate than Chris can. I'm not saying Chris can't punch, because you don't need a lot of punching power to knock anyone out. You just need to sneak it in there, and Chris can't sneak anything in there. He's very skillful. But again, I'm just saying that, I told Jamie's promoter, I said to him, you can't, if he can't beat guys like Colbert, who are definitely going to be, in world championship fights and maybe even world champions, then we need to know now. Why are we going to waste our time with a guy who already is, 18-1, 19-1, whatever he is? Let's find out now. He's getting all the proper training that he needs to be. He's well managed. He's well promoted. He's well taken care of. There's no excuse. And he's already been in a fight that proved that he can go 12, that he can take a punch, that he can give a punch. He needs to now just learn from that last fight and make some assessments. I feel very comfortable in our fight, not because of who Chris is or isn't, but because of who Jamie is. So, and with that being said, I respect Chris very much. I wish him the best. I got nothing but love for him and his coach. And the better man's going to win. Simple as that.
I'm definitely excited for that one. But anything penciled in for Lazada?
He is fighting September the 26th against Ladarius Miller is what's penciled in out of the Mayweather camp. So that's who he's penciled in the fight on September the 26th on a pay-per-view card. I'm not sure which pay-per-view it is. I believe it's the Benavidez. So who is it then? It's Charlo. It's the Charlo card.
Wow.
So it's the Charlo pay-per-view with Rosario. Right.
Wow.
Right. It's going to be a Dominican night. Payano's on that card.
Because that's all.
Michelle is on that card, and Rosario's on that card.
Those are all Samson fighters, right?
Except for Payano, yes. They're all Samson fighters, correct.
Yeah. All right. Oh, man, Samson. Wow.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. He's a good dude, and he really knows how to find talent.
So Ladarius Miller, though, you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, he's pretty decent. Didn't he give the first loss to?
He's very good.
Didn't he give his first loss? He gave the champion, right? Lamont. No. What's the one that's trained by Bomac?
No. Yeah, I don't know.
Jamel Herring. Yeah, he beat Jamel Herring in 2017.
Did he?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, he's no slouch. That's for sure.
He beat Galarza, Dennis Galarza, who is the son of the former trainer of
yes,
down there from Florida. I'm sure you know him, Dennis.
Jason.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I trained Dennis. For about a year, along with Hammer, with Erickson Lubin. Mm-hmm. I trained them for about 12, 14 months, so I know them very well. And yeah, that is a good fight. I mean, he can box.
Very good.
He's definitely, without a doubt, his skills. I don't think he has a big knockout ratio.
Nope.
But he's a phenomenal boxer, southpaw. So it's not going to be an easy fight for Michelle. But Michelle is what B-Hop has in confidence and in bravado about his abilities in himself. Michelle is the Dominican version of that. I mean, there's nobody that believes in Michelle more than Michelle. Then maybe his father, and then after that his immediate coaching staff. But he's a very, very confident young man who has the skills to back it up. A big 135. He's not a little dude. He's about close to 6 foot.
What?
Michelle's a tall dude. He's my height. I'm 6 foot, and he's right there. He's half inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch shorter than me. So you know, he's definitely a big 135. I can't say he's heavy, like coming down from these big weights that 35s are used to coming down from, but he packs, 15 pounds, 20 pounds above his fight weight, so he's not a little dude,
Yeah. Just for my own reasons, so I don't got to do the research. Did you watch the Jezreel versus Miller fight, and can you compare it to the Colbert Jezreel fight? Corrales?
No, I didn't see the fight, but I will do all my study, when the fight gets closer, obviously. And I do look at film and I do watch film and so forth. So really right now the only thing I'm focused on is on the 15th and the 22nd, which is Negron and Lilan, who are up and coming.
And you don't think for Michelle is too fast? Because, damn, man, he just started fighting in America. He's ready, you think?
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, there's a Kazakhstanian southpaw gold medalist at 100 and I want to say he's 147 pounder. And I don't know his name, and I should, but I don't know his name. And he's out of here. He's training out of here from Florida. I think Antonio Tarver took over training duty for him now. But this kid has been just like torturing every 47 and under in South Florida when they spar. I've seen guys run out of the ring crying out of frustration, some, and others just because they just got their asses whooped, right? And I've got about maybe 45 rounds of sparring with this kid, with Michelle. And the kid is the first one to tell you that nobody can do what Michelle does to him, or sustain the punishment when he tries to put it on. The difference is Michelle doesn't allow you to punish him that way. He's very defensive. He's slick, and he's offensive minded. He's really offensive minded. So, I don't think it's too soon. Give me 1 second, fellas. Hold on.
No problem. Yeah, I mean, bro, Miller has crazy experience. Crazy experience. Let me keep that violin real low just in case he comes back. Yo,
that sounds like a mariachi.
Yeah, that's a guitar.
That's Desperados right there. It's Desperados. Yo, listen. We arguing about the wrong fights. This fight is made. These fights are made, bro. Listen, and this is how we get money. Colbert versus.
Hello.
Yep.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I don't think it's too soon. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for the fight. I don't think it's too soon. I think he's on the brink. He's already had his first fight. He fought a kid named Hiron here on Showtime. Beat the piss out of him. The second fight, he fought another kid, knocked him out in the late rounds, 10th, 11th round, something like that. And then that kid went on to upset an undefeated Olympian in his next fight. So yeah, no, I mean, Michelle's the real deal, man. Michelle's the real deal. I haven't felt this way about a fighter since Ortiz,
Really?
So it really, oh yeah, no, I'm telling you, when I started training Lewis a few years back, like 7-8 years back, the first thing I told his managers after about a month, I said, you guys got a legitimate heavyweight. A, I said, he's the real deal. B, good luck, and you can ask Jay anytime you want. Good luck on ever getting him any real fights of any kind of significance. And I'm talking championship fights, and I'm talking any kind of contention fights, anything. I said, good luck, dude. It's going to be tough, but I'm on board. Let's do it, And lo and behold, as soon as he knocked out Jennings, after that, the list, yeah, everyone smack talked, Luis Ortiz, but they never stepped up. And then what they did was, let me just not even mention Lewis. Let me mention everybody but Lewis. And since then, so, but I was very, 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 very impressed with Ortiz's early progression here and and the things he was doing in fights and just his attitude and demeanor, which has never changed, has never wavered, whether he's had $5 to his name living in room 6 or multi-millions like he has now. His demeanor is the same. His attitude is the same. He gets excited about the stupidest, dumbest things, as simple as getting new boxing boots. I mean, so Michelle is very, 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 very similar in those regards. So I'm saying, listen, I haven't been this excited about a fighter in quite so many years now. So looking forward to seeing what happens. I tell them all the time, the only one that can beat you is you. As long as your head stays the size that it is and it doesn't grow where it doesn't even fit in the gym, we're not going to have any issues.
Man, I think everybody gets excited to get some new boxing shoes, but that's very, 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 I don't know, enlightening to hear. I mean, because, man, again, for like 7 years, I've been telling my public that, look, we don't have anybody since Guzman, and Guzman was this guy that let us down on the scales time and time again. He was so talented. People used to call him Baby Mike Tyson. Yeah. But, the scales, the partying, going back to Huachupita, to party. But I love what you're doing over there, man, the way you got guys over there and they're living with you. I mean, is that what you call it, room 6? Is that how it is? Like, yo, you're in room 6?
Yeah, there's 8 of them. They all got numbers. And I put them in the room numbers. Some like a room better than another for whatever reason. And, once they get a little seniority here, they can pick the room that they want. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You speak of Guzman, and when I met Joan in early 2001, he was living in a gym here in Florida, and he was a world champion. He was a 122 pound world champion. It was right before he fought the other Dominican kid and just destroyed him. I forget the kid's name. He passed on since then. But I met him there, and that particular gym had a similar scenario to what I have here, except it was a roach-infested cockroach. I mean, it was nasty. It was just literally nasty. And it only had 2 bedrooms, right? But he was living in one of them, and I was training Shannon Briggs at the time, and we saw him, and we just were in awe. We didn't even train. It was the first time I met him. Shannon met him for the first time. Shannon and I didn't even train watching this kid work, and he was sparring. So immediately after, Shannon asked me to ask him, like, where's he living and what's his scenario? And he told us, well, I'm world champion. I'm living here. He showed us, and Shannon was like, nah, the hell with that. You're not staying here like that. So he took him to his house. He put him in his guest house that he had in the back. He put him in his guest house, and he gave him the lap of luxury, treating a world champion like you should, trying to get a hold of his managers or his handlers, whoever it was. Shannon was going to read him the riot act, that that's not how you treat a world champion. And Guzman, obviously, being who he was, a very loyal person that way, just was like, look, I got to get out of here because, I'm going to get in trouble with my people and blah, blah, blah. He went back to the gym. The next time we saw him at the gym the following week, he was sparring, and he was sparring a kid. He was like 122, but he must have been like 150, right? Because he's always had those weight problems. So, but he was a big bantamweight, or a super bantamweight at the time. And he was sparring this kid and just working, and the kid hit him, boom, and hit him hard, showing off in front of Shannon. And in the next round, he comes over. We give him some water because we were helping him. There was no coaching with him. He was a world champion in the gym by himself with no coaches there, no nothing, right? So we're giving him water, and he says to me, tell Shannon that I'm going to knock him out this round. And I told Shannon, he says he's going to knock him out. He goes, nah, he's not calling this knockout, is he? That's what he said, Shannon. That's what he wanted me to tell you. Came out, fainted, boom, blasted the kid, just knocked out cold. Shannon was just like in awe, like, damn, this kid. So to say what I'm saying and to make my story short, I told Guzman, I said, listen, that you need anything, let me know. Be more than happy to help you. Blah, blah, blah. Shannon says he's your man. We run into him like 10 years later, 8 years later. He signs with Mike Tyson Promotions. I'm training. I'm the head coach at the Mike Tyson camp at that time, and I ended up training Guzman, right? So we worked for about 2.5 years before he finally just retired. But we got to a championship fight with him at 139 pounds. He made the weight on 139 and 3/4 was ripped, was in the best shape he's ever been. And we lost to Alekperdiv, the Southpaw Russian, Habib Alekperdiv or something like that. I could be screwing that name up completely, but it was that. He broke his leg. Guzman broke his leg in the fight. He shattered his shin bone. crashing shins, so couldn't continue. But he was up every single round.
Oh, yeah, I
was about
remember
to
that
capture
fight.
another world title.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
was about to capture another world title. Yeah, and knocked the kid's tooth out with an uppercut in like the third round, a la Guzman fashion. Boom! Hit that uppercut. Kid's tooth went flying. We're beating the piss out of him until about the 7th round that he broke his leg, and then that was it. We lost. But it was a pleasure to work with him and to train him because I had seen him as a boy, basically, as a kid, and that particular gym, along with the experience I had with Shannon, which was that Shannon would always just rent a warehouse and put his own facility. He never relied on people lending him a gym or paying gym dues or any of that. He didn't want any of that drama that went along with training in gyms like that. So I kind of been always, accustomed to just being in a private facility. My days of running a martial arts school for 13 years also kind of was natural for me. I've always been an entrepreneur. So when I decided that I'm going to do something like this because of Payano, Marrero, and Jennifer, who were the first 3 Dominicans that I brought from Santo Domingo to, give this experiment a go.
Claudio Morero, right?
About
Claudio.
10 years ago. Claudio, yes. Since then, Claudio and I broke off about 3 years ago, but we had 7 years together. I debuted him and took him all the way to the status that he was in, where he was at one point the scariest 126-pounder in boxing, and nobody wanted a piece of him, But his head got real big, and the typical things that happens to a lot of fighters who who just think that their shit don't stink, and boxing will humble you, my man. And I would tell him all the time, dude, you can't do that, But what you said early in the program, Nestor, about Dominicans falling prey to that
all the
was
time.
Marrero as well.
Listen,
I'm
Dominican,
after every
bro.
fight.
I'm Dominican. It seems like the mindset
firsthand
is to come here, make some money, go back and show everyone
and show off
how much you've made. You need to change your social profile in your old country, and that's what Dominicans fall victim to,
Big time.
You never
At least the ones in the city.
Yes.
Not so much the country folk.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know. Which fighters are from the country? Because isn't Huachupita the country?
Payano. Well, no, that's in the city. That's a little neighborhood inside the city. You know what I'm saying? That's still Santo Domingo, right? That's the city. Like, for example, Payano is from La Vega, which is up north, about 3 hours away.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different, right? So I think that's the difference,
I think that the difference,
but
though,
that doesn't mean that you don't have guys. Yeah.
The difference between the capital and La Vega is obviously the capital is, like if you want to explain it to an American, the capital is New York City. You got buildings, you got 24-hour nightclubs and casinos, and then where Payano is from, you do have that in Santiago.
Still horse and buggy. I see horse and buggies on the street.
No, absolutely. But listen, because La Vega and Santiago are not exactly close to each other. It's like maybe an hour the separation between La Vega and Santiago. But in Santiago, there is a casino. So La Vega, what they do, and this is what I'm saying, my people love to party so much, gas stations turn into nightclubs in La Vega at night.
Come on, dude. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy.
It's crazy out there, man.
I ain't never seen no stuff like that before.
Yo, have you ever?
But listen, I've had nothing but good experiences with the Dominicans who have come down. I trained Rosario for 8 months, right?
Really?
Before he won his championships. Oh yeah, I'm going to tell you the story.
Don't tell me it was the Gallimore fight.
Trip. Yep, exactly.
Man.
The fight that he lost, right?
Damn.
But I'm going to tell you. So I trained him for 8 months here. He was here first time in the U.S., first time outside of Santo Domingo. And Samson sent to me and said, I don't know about this kid, but we're going to find out. So he comes down, and sure enough, he did the work that he needed to do, but he was so talented and so big that he was able to get away with some things just being so big and so talented. But he would sneak and cheat about the dumbest things, like take off running when the guys are going to go run, and he'd wait for them to come back like halfway and then just come back with them. You know, instead of running the 6 miles, he ran the 2.5, right? Dumb thing. Hide food. I found Snickers underneath, you know, just all kinds of shit. But he was a punk. He was a baby. He was 18, 19 years old, whatever he was. He was a punk. And I'm trying to talk some sense into him, telling him, look, you're hurting yourself. You're doing this. You're doing that, right? Didn't make a difference. Fights were falling out. And that attributed to the Gallimore loss. It wasn't necessarily just the kid or the training. We peaked about 3 times before that fight because of how many times fights would fall out, right? Just they didn't go through. Opponent, boom, next fight. Right. Yeah. And long story short, we get that fight, the Nathan fight, and he does fantastic until he gets tired, and then that's it. And of course he was going to get tired, you know. And at the end of the day, he'll tell. I've seen him many times since. He tells me, he says, "Coach, I am world champion today because of the loss we had together. Please don't take it, you know, because I take losses horribly. I don't like losses. I don't like losing, and I don't like fighters to have left because they took a loss. You understand what I'm saying? So he was like, I turned my life around after that loss. I contemplated so many things, and I'm here today as a world champion because of it. I know what needs to be done. I learned in the 8 months there in your gym how to really do it. I just never did it. So, you know, I'm very happy for him because he is nothing but nice.
Let me ask you, because damn, this interview was so informative. I had no clue you trained Joanne, but I didn't disrespect you at all, because the time that I spoke of is when he was with Golden Boy and he was trained by Floyd Mayweather Sr. But no, don't get me wrong. I had a scale miss with Guzman also. Oh, you did?
We showed up. Yeah, come on, dude. That was just that one title fight that look. You know what I had to do to get him 139 3/4 for that title fight? We put him in camp. But I put a roommate, my snitch, my soldier, literally my soldier, in the room with him, who had strict orders to do whatever it took. I mean, it was torture for him, but he knew it was his last hurrah. After that loss, we got another opportunity for a title, interim world title, and he got on the scale that morning. The fight was at 139, and he got on the scale that morning like at 144 and started freaking out. Like, I don't know what happened, blah, 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 the usual. And so, you know, I played a little mind game with him. The weigh-in's in the afternoon, 6 o'clock, and I told him, listen, don't worry about it. You ain't got to worry about it. I'll handle it. Just be cool. So I pretend I made a phone call and told him afterwards. I did it in front of him, and I told him that the fight was going to be down to like 142. There's no title fight on the planet that they're going to let you get away with a couple pounds, right? But I told him that, and so it relaxed him. So now he's only got to drop 2 pounds, and he's like, we can do this. So I just said, chill, relax. Let's just go for a walk, blah, blah, blah. We'll go for a walk. We don't even get on the scale. We do the stuff we need to do to try and get the weight down that you normally do when a fighter's overweight like that, right? And we do all that stuff. He wants to get on the scale. I said, no more scale for you. Lo and behold, we get to the weigh-in. He comes up and he tells the matchmaker, yeah, I'm like 141, 142. He goes, what? The title fight is 139 or 140 max. He goes, oh, my coach. He said, what? And I looked at him and said, 60 seconds. You know better than anybody, dude. It's 139 or 140. Get on the scale. He was 140.4, some shit like that. We took the 0.4 off. But you got to use these mind games with Guzman. You know, if you don't, he would have panicked. He would have not lost weight. He might have even gained weight just on the panic mode. He really went into some serious panic mode because of how much flack he got over missing weight in prior occasions, you know? And so, yeah, I had a few times that his weight wasn't where it was supposed to be the morning of, but, you know, gratefully and you know, and luckily he believed my lies.
Wow.
Yeah. You've been around so
I love
many
him
fighters,
to death,
man.
Guzman is my man.
Damn. Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I got stories for days.
I see, man.
Nah,
I didn't
10 seconds.
Listen, I didn't even know that you and Shannon had a relationship. We actually have Shannon here every Friday for like the past 5 weeks. He's been like co-hosting with us.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, man.
Shannon's my man. We almost 10 years exclusive to him.
Wow.
Yeah. It started with Jamil McCline. That was our first fight in 2002, and then we ended with Vitali in 2010, late 10, so almost 2011. Yeah, like 9-10 years we were
Listen, man.
exclusive. I didn't train anyone else.
If Michelle can knock out Miller, man, that kid probably could turn into like a superstar, man. I mean, Miller's a difficult style, you know.
Very difficult.
But he consistently gets the win. I don't even know who beat him. Somebody named China. I never heard of that dude.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't even see that fight. I didn't see that fight, man. Ladarius has been winning for a long time. So I hope you guys could get that win.
Yeah, he lost to an average kid, I think.
Yeah, early.
Hey, Headwan.
No, we're definitely getting that win, yeah.
I feel like we're about to go to the Patreon questions, and I wanted just to get your take on the whole Roy Jones, Mike Tyson situation. Just, you know, get like a straightforward, I guess, kind of thoughts on it overall, if it's good for boxing, you know, just what you think in general, I guess.
Well, I think if it truly is an exhibition where they're going to use headgear, or if they don't use headgear, they're going to use heavy gloves. I think if they take safety in mind here, regardless if Roy is legitimately on a scale, a heavyweight, his frame has never been more than a 160-pound fighter. I mean, that's who his frame is, right? I mean, you can be a heavyweight on a scale, but that doesn't mean you have the same frame as Mike Tyson, who's a small heavyweight also, but at 16, he was 220 pounds, you know? So if they take safety in mind and the fighters do themselves and don't try and rip each other's heads off, which is hard to do if you're a fighter, because you're gonna, at the end of the day, you're in front of people again. You're in a big crowd, you know, whatever. And I think it's dangerous for Roy. I mean, if they don't, you know, I think it's a dangerous scenario because Mike is still Mike, and he only needs, you know, one round. It's not like he needs all 12 rounds to do damage, and even with headgear and big gloves. So, you know, I think as far as an exhibition and the names and two legends and all that, yeah, it would have been great. I think Roy, in his prime, could only have considered, and I'm talking about in his prime, a fight with Mike Tyson, and it would have been dangerous then. So, you know, I don't know. I'm skeptical because I know them both, and I know that you know anything can happen because I know they're both competitive. They weren't who they were in their primes because they were just let's see what happens. No, they were competitive individuals. They didn't want to lose, and they took their shit seriously. So I hope it doesn't. I hope I'm wrong. But you know, for the layman person, they're going to think it's the best thing on earth, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, going back to real fights, Rosario, when you trained him, and you said now that he came back to you, he said, "Look, that fight changed me. I'm a different person." Do you think he's talking about God? Because I want to know specifically, do you remember him being as religious when he lived with you for those 8 months? Because it seems to me like he's super religious right now.
He's always been religious. He always God bless me in the morning, God bless me in the evening.
Okay.
And was very religious, yes. He's a strong believer. But I think what he meant was like he's not going to take for granted his abilities and what God gave him. And I think that's what he meant by that I'm a different person, not necessarily like a spiritual change. It's possible that he did get more spiritual because a loss.
Because I heard you say that he told you he contemplated a lot of things. I said, damn, did my boy consider, you know, the ultimate because of the loss?
He didn't say. Yeah, no, he didn't say. Yeah, he didn't say. But, you know, you say you contemplate a lot of things. There's a lot of things. There's only so many things, and a lot of things can include that. You know what I'm saying? Like I contemplate a lot of shit. I mean, I probably often myself, right? But you know, and they're proud people, Dominicans, you know, and if he got embarrassed, if he got his shit handed to him verbally when he got back home,
I
you
know.
whatever.
I could imagine.
I'm sure he contemplated everything.
I could imagine how they treated him back home. I hope.
It's hard to be a world champion with Dominicans. It's hard to be a world champion.
Everybody got their hand
down.
down.
Imagine losing. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, it's the toughest thing.
I heard somebody say, "Yo, this guy ain't shit." Dominican, right? This guy ain't shit. You believe he came to Santo Domingo and he didn't even come by and see me, blah blah blah. And so I asked my fighter, who was world champion at the time. I said, "Do you know this guy?" He goes, "No." I said, "So then why is he saying?" I said, "I don't know." So he responded like, "Do I know?" He goes, "No, I don't know you, but you didn't even come by the neighborhood and hand shit out." Like, yo, I'm supposed to do that? Like, it's incredible how they think. Somebody makes it, they better come back home and just hand shit out, you know?
You know,
that
is
like,
the
so
poverty,
imagine, as
though.
a world champion, yeah, I get it, but that's not necessarily somebody's responsibility.
No, it's
then get, torn up for it.
Absolutely, it isn't. It isn't, but that is their mindset because there's in the poverty, their level of poverty just doesn't even equate to what we know out here. But, I mean, I was digging deeper into the psyche because I want to make sure that my boy is going to train and get this win. This is a important fight. He's on pay-per-view. Like, he's the first. I don't even, was Guzman ever on pay? Like, is this the first Dominican on pay-per-view? Do you know any other one?
As a main event fighter, I think it might be the first. Yeah, like this of this magnitude. Guzman definitely highlighted some HBO cards, but pay-per-view, I don't necessarily think that anyone has been in this level. And I believe that Jason is going to win. I guarantee you.
Ooh, you saying guarantee?
If he comes in right. Oh yeah, no man. Listen, that kid is slick. That kid is powerful. He's big. He's not going to be no slouch like Charlo's not going to just like walk him down or out or anything. This kid is a massive kid. He's 200 pounds easily. During his break. I mean, he's a big boy.
Wow. So what do you know about the trainer that he's with now? Because the trainer that he's with is from Fifth Avenue Gym in Miami, right? Like, he still stood in Florida.
Yeah. I believe he's with Cheeto, who's a good coach, very competent, very professional, thorough, and obviously they won their fight, their first fight together of that magnitude. So yeah, I mean, definitely, I think, if they click and if they have that chemistry and he's listening and he's doing what he should do and he's not taking for granted anything, it's not always like who the coach is. Sometimes it's just chemistry. A lot of times it's just chemistry. And I'm glad he found that with him. And if they take care of that and they nurture it, man, these guys can do a lot of damage.
Now,
they can do a lot of damage in that division.
How'd you guys split? Like, why,
Well, he went back home. And then he just obviously he just contemplated a lot of things. I think retirement was one of them. He said, well, maybe that was the first thing he said. That he contemplated retirement and a lot of things. And then when he came back, or when he was coming back, I was in camp with Lewis in Las Vegas. So when I spoke to Samson, I said, I'm not there. I'm not here. So, I mean, there's really not much I can do. And I'm not taking any fighters in camp for Lewis. I wasn't going to divide my time with Lewis with other fighters, right? So he put him in there with Cheeto. Samson said, I'm going to put him with Cheeto in Miami. And then when you get back, we'll go from there. And then they had one fight together. And they liked each other and they stayed, So I'm nothing but love and happy that they do that. I mean, I don't have an issue with fighters who leave me. You follow what I'm saying? Even in my losses, fighters don't leave me. I've trained fighters that have lost and they're still with me. I keep fighters for years and years and years, meaning that I don't get that flip-flopping of fighters. And that's not what consists in my gym. I have fighters that I've trained, for example, Shannon, 8-10 years, Lou Del Val, light heavyweight, Honey Boy, I trained for 9 years, Payano, 10 years, Marrero, 8 years. Like, I keep them a long time because I don't necessarily,
You know
You the
that.
champ.
Yeah.
I didn't know you trained Deval. You know that's Badu Jack's trainer now.
Yeah. Well, I managed Badu. I brought Badu from Sweden, signed him to a management deal, brought him from Sweden to the U.S., signed him to his first promoter, Greg Cohen, had him for a year, trained him. I was his coach as well, trained him. He lived in the same house that Payano and the guys were living in at the time before the gym here. And then when his promoter went belly up, at the time, the promotion company they had, it was called, what was it called? I think it was called The Empire Promotion. Went belly up, he stopped getting his stipend from the promoter, and Badu needed the money to live because he had to send money to Sweden, and unfortunately I couldn't do it as his manager. So we negotiated on the promotion side they'll release him as a promoter if I release him as a manager to a manager out in Vegas, and it turned out it was one of Mayweather's people, and the rest is history. And nothing but love for Badu to this day. When we see each other, it's nothing but love.
Damn. So Herman, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
like,
but Louis and I had 9 years. Yeah, long time.
So it doesn't work that way. Like you couldn't have sold your portion of Badu to.
I could have.
Abdul.
Course.
It was
yeah,
Abdul, right? It was Abdul. Amir. I met his new manager. It's my guy.
Yeah. No, he went through a first manager. Amir's now the guy he ended up with.
Wow.
Amir might have bought him from that one. Yeah. No, I could have. Nestor, of course. I had a 5-year contract with him. I brought him from Sweden. I got him his visa. The whole thing. I could have done a lot of things, but I'm not going to hinder a fighter because then that would have took a little longer for me to get Badu into a deal where he could immediately get in there, right?
Listen to me.
So I just gave him his release and gave him his papers. I don't want
you to get the misconception. I'm not saying it wasn't a smart business move. I'm clearly thinking because
it was a dumb business move.
No.
I know. I didn't get anything back.
I hear you, but
it was the personal thing.
I wasn't questioning it though. I was just trying to get for my own personal reasons. Like, wait, as a manager, couldn't he? Because I always contemplate, that managerial position. You just run across so much talent, and it's good. It's good to hear that you've been in those positions and how you've handled so many. Wow, dude, you need like a documentary done. All these years interviewing you.
Well, you need to make it, Nestor.
Dude, all these years that I've been interviewing, I didn't even know any. This interview is like all new information for me. It's insane. That's beautiful, man. Wow.
I definitely consider myself. Shannon used to call me his manager for years, right? I want you to introduce you to my manager, right? Because I'm gifted. I'm smart enough to understand the business in its whole and its entirety, from promotion to management to training. But I consider myself a boxing coach. And I used to tell Shannon, I'm your boxing coach. Forget about introducing me as your manager first, blah, 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 right? I said, I'm your boxing coach. I've always been that. I will want to continue to be that. I don't want to be known as the guy who was your manager or was your agent or this or that, right? But we did put a lot of deals together that I would end up closing for him and so forth. But because he trusted me, right? Because I'm with him every day. Badu was the same thing. I'm his coach. I'm in here with you, sweating, bleeding, working hard, sacrificing with you. The last thing I want to do is put on my manager hat when I've been your trainer for a year and not put on my manager hat and say, okay, well, now all that time wasn't real. Fuck you, pay me. Excuse my French. And it wasn't legitimate. I couldn't sleep with myself at night. I couldn't lay down and put my head on a pillow and say, this kid, I'm lying to this kid. And why fighters stay with me is because of that, because of my honesty, because I'll tell them straight up from day one, from the get-go, this is what it is, this is how it is. And I've shown it many times in scenarios like Badu, where Badu could never say, I did anything ill to hinder his career and make him the 2-time world champion, multimillionaire he is today. I encouraged it, I pushed it, I helped him. He called me after the deal was signed in Vegas to consult to this and that. So, at the end of the day, I feel better about myself, and for me, that was business savvy enough, So, yeah, I lost money, but at the end of the day, that's not always what it's about,
No, definitely. And again, man, just to reiterate, I wasn't trying to, bring up that you lost. Just trying.
No. I know you're not, Nestor. Of course not. Yeah. Yeah, no,
Get out of
no,
here.
of course.
So listen, we got a few
No,
questions.
no, I mean it, honestly.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, it sounded
Yeah,
sarcastic.
absolutely.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, no, come on, dude. I'll tell you right up. I won't use sarcasm. I'll tell it to you straight.
All right. So we got a few questions from the people, but if you got to cut out, it's understandable because this definitely went
No.
over.
Go ahead. I made
right.
time out for you. Go ahead.
All right.
My
So
pleasure.
my Gene Bay, our fellow Dominican listener from New Jersey, says, why is it that heavyweights peak later in their careers?
Well, good question, but I think it's because of the size, obviously being one of them. The way that they also train, the way you should train a heavyweight, is not going to be as intense or as road work is a little bit less, sprint work is a little bit less, and then the pace of a heavyweight fight is not always a 118-pound pace. So I think just by sheer size and the size of the person, training and everything is altered, and it's more body to work with. So therefore, it's a bigger body to break down, whereas a little body, can break down quick and can feels everything quick. Like a little 118-pound body is gonna get in shape fast, but also get out of shape fast. So I think it has to do with that, and their mentality. They know it, and everything's a little bit slower. And maybe there's some real science to it, but I think that's just my experience over it.
No problem. We got
Yeah.
We got Rel in Detroit. Who says, is Luis Ortiz still going to be able to fight the top heavyweights of the division? Because it seems like everyone is trying to forget about him.
I agree with you, and thank you for making that comment. I definitely agree. They've been doing that for quite some time, where they're just not even mentioning his name. Hopefully, he goes away. You don't mention him, he'll disappear. Luis is more viable than he ever was. He hasn't left the gym. He definitely is in the mix, whether they want it or not. We have a promoter advisor in Al Heyman that is going to make sure of that. And it's just a matter of I guess fighting whoever they put in front of them, staying viable twice a year, and then going from there. So if we had it our way, we'd be fighting 3 times a year. Luis wants to fight, so and he takes care of himself very well. He's a very well taken care of fighter. He started his career at 30 as a professional, but since then he had been inactive as an amateur before that, so many years. And for this career as a fighter, as a heavyweight fighter, he's been doing all the knockouts. So he's not been, I guess you want to say, as far as being abused as a fighter in a fight, the only 2 fights that have been grueling in the sense that we lost were the 2 Wilder fights for 17 rounds, 18 rounds. But we won out of those 18 rounds, 15 of those rounds that we dominated. So it really only was the stoppages in the first fight that he got tired, and the second fight he just got clipped. So he hasn't been beat up. So I think that was a big factor in the Foreman's comeback and his championship run, was that in his 50 fights, he had knocked 47 of them out. So he's a very well-maintained, preserved, not maintained, a well-preserved body. And I think Luis falls into that category. Eats well, always has. Jay's taken care of him from day one, even when Luis didn't have a nickel to his name. Now as a multimillionaire, Luis is, following the examples that were set, meal plans, vitamins and supplements and everything that goes along with being healthy. So he'll be around for a little while, unless he just mentally gives up because of the, drama amongst the other heavyweights who don't want to fight him, and he just calls it quits. But I don't see it happening. So I still believe Luis will be viable. Whether these top guys step up, grow some balls, and do it, who the hell knows?
Just a quick one, and I know it's probably not going to be quick, but is Hunter considered a top guy to you? Michael Hunter from Las Vegas.
I don't think he's done enough yet as a heavyweight, regardless of his career as an amateur and the medal, because he won a medal in the amateurs, right?
Yeah.
I am not sure.
I think he won a medal. Yeah, I think he won a bronze medal or something. But nevertheless,
no.
I don't believe that as a heavyweight yet he has done enough to be saying he's a top guy. But if he does, that's a guy. I like Michael. I think he has the right attitude about it. And I like his coach as well. Good friends, and I wish him the best. But if he does decide that Lewis is a guy he wants to put into his sights and start mentioning him, then if the fight makes financial sense, then we'll fight Michael. Absolutely. If that's what it takes. But
well,
I don't see that happening.
he definitely said he's willing to fight Lewis. He's a free agent. We had him on after he found out Matchroom wasn't going to re-up. And obviously, there's only but so many options as a heavyweight fighter. So we asked him about fights on the top rank side, like we asked him about fights on the PBC side. And Luis Ortiz was one of those fights that he said he would be willing to take.
I'm glad that he at least mentioned Lewis, because some guys won't even mention it like he doesn't exist, And if Michael did that, kudos to Michael. Whether it's a smart fight for Michael right now, I don't know. I don't think so. Lewis looks easy on the outside when you're just looking in, and then you factor in age and you factor in 2 losses to Wilder. I can beat him. That looks easy, but Lewis is a master in that ring at setting you up and putting traps, and he'll leave a trap for you in the blue corner and take you to the red corner and bring you back to the blue corner, and you're going to fall right into it. So it's maybe too big of a fight for him to chew right now, but we're looking for the big guys too, also, the Joshuas of the world and the big fights, Ruiz, the Joshuas, I can't, nothing but love for Wilder, who fought him twice when he didn't have to. So, I hope Wilder regains his title and maybe we can do a trilogy. Who the hell knows, Fury, any of those guys. That's who Lewis wants,
But a lot of those guys are tied up, champ. I mean, even Ruiz is rumored to be fighting Areola. So it's like, is Lewis going to sit out the whole year?
No. We're scheduled to fight in November.
Beautiful.
We're scheduled to fight in November. And yeah, absolutely. No, everyone's working for him to fight in November. Ruiz said he didn't want to fight Lewis as his first fight back. But he said he would do it afterwards. So it's a possibility. They're both PBC fighters. It's a possibility that we'll fight Ruiz after that fight. So who knows? Lewis never says no. His manager has already a notarized letter, and I'm being facetious, obviously, and sarcastic here, notarized letter to the Heyman group already with a big yes on it, to anyone they say. So it's not our side saying no, ever. Anybody they say, yes. So, at the end of the day, Lewis is a fighter, and that's what he wants to do.
All right, the next one's coming in from George from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. He says, if Carlos Negron gets the Efe Ajagba fight in October, should fans bet on Carlos Negron for the upset?
Yeah, I think Carlos Negron definitely turned like Rosario did, turned a chapter in his career where he feels, this is from his mouth to my face, was early in his career they were hot on him, and then he had a managerial scenario going on, promotional thing going on, and he kind of got a real bad taste in his mouth for a few years. He got that first loss. Everyone dropped him like a bad habit. When he came to help us here in Florida, spar Lewis, to that transition to his actual first fight here that he lost with Dominic Brazil was a short transition. It was only about 90 days from after the Ortiz fight. And he hadn't been in boxing for quite some time, meaning he hadn't even really been taking it seriously, training, etc. Then he lost to a complete opponent in the following fight last year, which is why it was a tough year last year. And then he turned it around with a knockout, first-round knockout to the undefeated Cuban. Carlos is a masterful boxer with high-level skills, Olympian, Puerto Rican, big 6'7", good puncher, and now 100% in good shape, being taken care of under the King Kong banner for over a year now with the way you should be treating a fighter. So, yes, anybody Carlos fights moving forward, they should definitely be betting on Carlos. The Efe Ajaba fight is a great fight, one that we want and wanted. Whether it happens or not, who knows, because I heard rumors that Efe got injured and needs some kind of surgery or something. So it's possible that fight doesn't happen.
You said you
know,
heard rumors that Efe got injured. Jay Prince, what?
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but there's rumors that he's injured, and the reason I can say maybe those rumors are true, that he's injured, is because Carlos is scheduled now to fight in November against Darmani Rock, the undefeated kid from Philly.
Oh,
right. So that's who Negron is fighting in November.
Yo, what? No. Is he ready? Oh my God.
Yeah, guaranteed he's ready. Absolutely.
Damn,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
Wait. How long has Negron been with you? Oh my God.
A year and a half now.
Oh man.
A year and a half. Yeah, of course.
Damn, why that fight, bro?
A year and a half, yeah. Because he's a heavyweight, because he's a heavyweight and there's not that many heavyweight fights out there. He's an Olympian. He's, 32 years old.
This kid is the goods, bro. That kid is
dangerous.
I believe it.
Absolutely.
Bro, he's like 300.
Yeah, I believe it. I'm sure he is.
He's like 300 pounds, but he's not big baby. Like, he's the goods, man. Oh,
No. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Damn, this thing keeps getting better and better. This interview is insane.
It's a tough fight, but Efe wasn't an easy fight either, right?
Yeah, but Efe at least showed vulnerability already. He showed vulnerability. Kaleides put him down, man. And
yeah.
Damn, bro.
But listen, Negron is high level boxing. Negron has high level boxing. I'm telling you, high level boxing.
I think what you guys have is obviously you've been in there with the better opposition, all the way down to Derek Rossi, Dominic Brazil, Robert Alfonso. I know Alfonso.
Guaranteed.
I didn't know that was gonna happen. I know Alfonso. I've been in like 6 camps.
Well, there you go.
Dude.
There you go.
No, I know him.
Yeah, so and Alfonso. Let me tell you about Alfonso.
He's an
Olympian.
Olympian.
Let me tell you about Robert Alfonso. Robert Alfonso, I debuted. I signed him here to a management deal. He lived in room 4 for 3 years. He was my fighter, my prospect. I was high on Robert Alfonso. He was the next coming of Riddick Bowe. His body work, his punching, his inside game is second to none. I can't
believe
scenario.
This.
He was a little bit on the fast track. He wanted the fast track. He said he had a manager that was willing to take him and fast track him and pay him, et cetera, et cetera. So I released him. Here are your papers. And he went and he signed with Wilder's manager at the time. Wilder wasn't champ yet. And so he went and he signed with Wilder's manager.
Yeah, with
and
JD's.
they did their job. They got him 15 fights. I got him to 3-0. They got him to 18-0. But one thing I can tell you is that nobody gave Negron the shot against Robert. Why? Because of the high-level Olympian that he was, because of the Cuban school, because of the undefeated, and because of his skills. This is no joke. He
got skills. I can't believe that he got knocked out. I didn't understand.
But I'm telling you, Negron turned the leaf.
People. Bro, I've seen him spar with Junior Fa. Like, that kid can handle his own.
All of them.
I seen him spar with Wilder. Anybody. I don't understand how Negron knocked him
Wilder
out.
can't hang with Robbie. Robbie's the shit. Robbie's the real deal. But with that being said, that goes to show you, Carlos, the mentality of a human being who says enough is enough. Right? That's A. And B, I don't want to discount the knowledge I know of Robbie, training him for 3 years, and the things that I knew we needed to do. Notoriously, and will never change, Robert Alfonso is a slow starter. And he's going to get warmed up in round 4. So our game plan was, do not allow that to happen. If you allow Robbie to get past round 4, you're in a tough fight. So that's why we jumped on him. Damn. So there was a little bit of past experience there that helped us. in that scenario. But at the end of the day, Carlos still had to get it done, and he did. So I like our chances with Darmani Rock. I do.
Why though? I need to know more, bro. I'm hot. I've watched that kid spar. Listen to me.
Look,
yo,
yeah.
That kid came into my gym, right? He's from Philly. I'm training in New Jersey like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Never, just started sparring. I did an exhibition thing with Sean Porter, and it turned me on, and I started sparring after that. Darmani Rock walks in the gym. I go straight to my coach and say, I'm not sparring that dude, because everybody had a habit of thinking that I was a pro or an amateur. I'm like, bro, I'm just a reporter. I'm not sparring that dude. That kid,
right.
I watched him spar Adam Kovnacki. I watched him spar. What's that national champ, your boy Asmar Wright or something like that?
Yeah, Asmar Wright.
Damn.
Right.
I mean, obviously, he ain't been on this level. He's had club-level fights. Negron has been on this level.
Yeah.
And Negron has been 10 rounds in numerous times.
Yeah.
So you got the experience, but is Negron going to be able to hold up to that punch? That boy could put, and he could put him.
I think Dominic Brazil.
He puts them
is
together.
A big puncher too. Yeah. But listen, you're going to rise to the level that's in front of you, and Negron is an experienced heavyweight with Olympic experience, and for the past year and a half, training partner to Ortiz, picked up a ton of good information, utilizes it, serious about his work.
Oh my God! Yo.
And I don't think for a minute it's a fight. It's a fight, and that's what people want to see, right? I mean,
you've made my morning with these. No, honestly, man, these are some fantastic. I've been dying for Darmani to get out of that Rock contract. I don't think that he has, but somehow he's got to fight with you guys, which is beautiful. It's just, damn, I hate that it's... Look, I didn't know Negron was going to fight him. I didn't... That's a tough fight. Jesus. Oh, man.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
I'm sorry, it's been so long. What was the date on that?
I think he said...
November 26th.
Oh
November 26th, thank you.
Damn.
No, not 26th. November 7th, right? November 7th for Negron?
Oh man,
let me look at the calendar.
That's why I was trying to look it up before I even asked.
I cannot believe these.
November 7th. November 7th. Darmani Rock.
Damn, bro, that's a. Yeah. Yo, listen, you do have that. You do have that. He ain't been on that level. His body doesn't look like he trains as hard as he should, but maybe that body could be deceiving, because when I seen him in the gym, damn, his jab. Man, and I've watched him live. I traveled to see this kid, man, a lot of times. He could put combination punches together. He goes to the body too, man. Damn, this is a good fight. Oh
I
my
bet.
God.
But I don't think he's fought anyone at that level.
No, never.
Like
never,
Carlos.
Never.
So all these guys he's been doing these great things to don't fight back.
Yes.
So, you got a guy who doesn't fight back. Everyone looks good.
And
Negron looked fantastic, like you're saying about Darmani early in his career, right? Because he fought guys that didn't fight back.
A lot of those guys are undersized.
Oh yeah. Negron is 6'7", 250 pounds. He's not a small guy, and he can box, and he can punch. He's got a left hook from hell, a right hand that is deceiving. So you can't sleep on Negron just because you're supposed to win.
Oh, thank you, Al Heyman.
There hasn't been,
what a schedule!
There hasn't been too many guys out of my camp. We're trying.
Wow.
Definitely.
Damn. So at least Negron is sparring Cheney, guys. We know. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What is the betting line
it
gonna
works
be
out
for that? Oh my goodness. What other questions you got left for him? Oh my God. I'm excited. Alex, what's the next question?
Yeah, we'll go to the next one now. Give me 1 second.
What was it, James Valdez?
Yeah, it was actually George Foster from the UK. Says, Luis Ortiz's resume doesn't represent his quality in the ring. What can be done in the later stages of his career to get him those names and the respect he deserves from the casuals, if anyone?
Well, respect I think he's probably gotten from everyone in boxing. Maybe observers don't, because they haven't seen him with what your listeners saying with the bigger names or the better names. But it's not a lack of by Lewis or his people. It's just they don't want to fight him and they won't fight him, And so if you can't force somebody to fight him. And at the end of the day, that's what's happening is that, early on in his career, Lewis didn't warrant the money to offer someone the $1 million to fight him. So you had to fight him for $80,000. Nobody wanted to lose against a power punching southpaw for $80,000. And then the big guys didn't want it, even if the money was there, because obviously it was just too big of a risk to lose. Lewis now, I believe, warrants money, meaning that they can offer bigger money for opponents to fight him, assuming that Lewis becomes the A fighter and they're offering somebody something to fight him or, in that nature. But as far as respect, I think boxing public and definitely fighters who have fought him have nothing but respect for him because, like I said, outside of the ring, it looks easy. Once you get in there, it's every step you're taking and you feel it. It's not like you don't know you're being set up. It's almost like a scenario where you're walking down a dark alley and shit's about to happen. You just can't stop it from happening. So when you're in the ring with Lewis, something's about to pop off and you're just like, how do I stop this? And the more you think about how you can avoid that, the more it's going to happen. It takes a wilder right hand, massive missile like that, with the speed that it's thrown at. Because if it's any slower, that hand doesn't hit Lewis. Because he's got phenomenal counter-punching skills, reflexes, etc. Like you told me, the shit looks slow. But when you watch it on TV, that right hand came fast. So how slow did it look for him that it still hit him? You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to have those things. And you're not just going to Dominic Brazil right hand hit Lewis with that. You'll see that coming from 5 miles away. So, I don't know. I don't know when those big fights are going to happen. We're pushing for them. We're trying. We're everything but showing up like Ali to somebody's camp and slapping somebody. I don't know how the hell we're going to get him. Heyman's trying, man.
All right, next one's coming from Sam in the UK. He says, is Ortiz the favorite or underdog versus Ruiz if it happens now?
Well, I think he would be the underdog because he's coming off 2 losses. Ruiz is coming off 1. Ruiz was the undisputed heavyweight champion. Lewis has never been. So I think, that Lewis would be the underdog. But I don't know how that would stay, like if it would get close come fight time, if the line would close up. But definitely we would be the B guy. We're realists. He's a Cuban with 0 following, no nation behind him. Regardless that he's an American citizen now, maybe he can get some Americans behind him, but Ruiz would have all of Mexico behind him. So, for sure he's the underdog.
All right, next one's coming in from Jab Left Hook. He says, 3 key tips for heavyweights in training. How is their gas tank and recovery different than other classes? Which you kind of touched into.
Repeat that question?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, repeat the question. What did you say?
He says 3 key tips. What do you have? Do you have 3 key tips for heavyweights in training? How is their gas tank and recovery different from other classes?
Well, it's a bigger body, right? So like I said earlier, correct. A bigger body, so there's more blood to run through a bigger body to get back to the heart, which is always going to be harder to recover, right? So, number 1, a lot of water. You got to make sure that you're very well hydrated, so that lactic acid is not one of the things that is slowing you down on top of just being a big body, right? So you want to make sure that you're not hurting yourself. Stay hydrated, eat well. It's really about nutrition and supplementation and hydration that helps, a heavyweight be able to recover and do well and so forth. It's not really like a training scenario, but if it was after those 3 things that I just said, nutritional wise, training wise, would definitely be, work long sessions. A small fighter can get away with an hour workout because they're high energy, quick. It's a faster workout. I think heavyweights need to definitely lengthen their workouts and work on endurance rather than explosion, right? So endurance needs to be a big part of what you're doing, whether it's distance runs on a weekly basis, whether it's one specific setup day to go run 5-10 miles, Can't do it often with a heavyweight because you'll beat up the body, but at least once a week. But in your gym and in the gym, you can prolong these workouts and keep them in that endurance, long pace workout, and then couple it with sprint days and explosive days. So it has to be a combination of a few things. You can't just go in and just be, you can't train like a light guy. Heavyweights is one particular class, and then it's the rest of boxing. And then, you have to know how to train a heavyweight. And everyone's different. Every heavyweight is different. Some guys can do what the little guys do. You know what I'm saying? And you're like in awe how they do it. But for the most part, it's what I said earlier. It's just understanding, what you have in front of you. So,
no, absolutely.
Good luck.
I believe this is the last one from Carlitos in the UK. Champ, thank you, Coach, for being with us and giving us your time right now. And Carlitos is saying, "What's good, Coach? Which of the 3 heavyweights would you most like to coach if given the chance? Wilder, AJ, or Fury?"
Given the opportunity, which one? Only one particular fighter?
Yeah, which of the top 3?
I think it would be between Wilder and Fury in a close runoff. The first choice there. I think I would enjoy Wilder's, just sincerity and his realness about how he carries himself from the little time that I did get to know him. I think Fury's antics and his energy would be a lot of fun in the gym also. And I kind of had a little bit of that with Shannon. Shannon was a little bit like that, and that was a lot of fun. AJ's just a straight pussy. I wouldn't want to train AJ for all the money in the world.
Wow.
So, yeah. He's just stuck up. I'm better than you individual. A couple times that I did meet him with Lewis and whatnot, he was just one of those guys. That's how he came off and didn't do anything to hide it, So, he can keep his and his money if it were real. This is all hypothetical.
Absolutely.
I can say that. Yeah.
Well, that is the last question, Coach, man. I want to thank you, man. I know you got to get back to a busy schedule, and you got a lot of game planning to do for a lot of important fighters, man. You got a lot of big fights, man. God bless. Thank you so much for your time. Wish you the best in all those fights.
Thank you, guys.
And, I'm gonna tell you real quick.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm glad about this interview, bro. I got to know you way more. And the first time I met you, I think it was the first time I met Luis Ortiz when me and Ness were down there a long time a while back.
Yeah.
I remember when, and I did not know, bro. You just
I hate that COVID is going on right now. If COVID wasn't going on, I'd be in room 6 with those guys getting all this footage. Seriously, bro. There's a lot of footage right now.
Listen,
Jesus.
you definitely can do the documentary you talked about me.
For sure.
I'll put you onto that. That'll be all you.
I actually got.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, thank you again, Germán.
Thank you, fellas.
There you have it, guys. Germán. Damn, the last name. Pronounce it, do me.
Caicedo.
All right. Did he say that right, Germán?
He did. Yep.
Caicedo. Oh, wait. Say it. You say it. Oh, he dropped off. Oh,
Caicedo. Oh, you got it, champ. You getting better at this.
Caicedo. Yo, Jesus.
Bro, I love this interview, dude.
Jesus. This was supposed to be over hours ago, but man, did he dump news on me. Okay? I'm out, though. I'm going straight to the calls. I don't even want to talk. Like, that's what overtime is for. Holy smokes, though. Wow. Wow. Like,
I'm talking about
just too much.
That's how he came in this morning.
Just too much, man. Too much.
Why you like that fight so much? Like, what?
Which
you
one?
think it's gonna be exciting?
Which
the
one?
Negron and
bro, for me.
And,
you've seen Darmani.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I've seen Darmani too.
Honestly,
but I'm saying like Carlos Negron. Go ahead.
I don't even want y'all to talk about it. Like, I think that fight is its own show. That's just me, you know. I could, but you guys are entitled to do that too. Like if you a Mario Barrios guy,
no, it's the Mario Barrios. No, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
You know what I mean?
That's
Do your Mario Barrios. Yeah, but my thing is,
Ryan Carl Mario Barrios. Like I told you why that.
No, I hear you, but you chose to do it.
That's why I'm wondering why you feel that way.
But this is my thing. You chose to do it as a note, not me. I feel like this is his own show, whether it's a 15, 30 minute, but it's its own. You know, it's not just a pass through. That was.
Oh, you're saying you don't want to say it on air right now?
Yeah, no, I'm ready for its own individual.
Okay, I was so confused. I was
like, because I said the way you said it was a note. The way you said it was a note.
Answer my question.
I can't. Yo,
I don't wanna.
I don't. Now I gotta try and get his dad. Oh.
Broski, we've seen and like
not pretty well.
Let me go to the callers. Go ahead.
Yeah, we
Damn. Crazy
Sponsors.
news.
Sponsors.
Crazy. No. I'm already there. Crazy news, bro.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
Big Nick, what's wrong with you? Enjoyed parts of that interview? You're weird.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
All right.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Ian Philly, what up? I don't even need Mario no more. I don't need Mario, see? He be slacking anyway.
I thought you knew he already.
I love these coaches, man. He said he actually seen guys crying, running out the ring. That's beautiful, though, man. Them coaches got to talk like that about their fighters, man. But that's my kind of dude, though, man. Like, he got that military style type training, man, training for success. Imagine a brother like Broner up in the camp like that. Now, I know it doesn't work for everybody, but at least you know you got a coach, man, that's committed to your success, man, and I commend him for that, man. So hopefully, you know, we get a great fight with Rosario and Jamel. Hey, did what trainer did he say Rosario was with? Huh?
Louis. He said Louis out of Fifth Avenue Gym in Miami. But remember, Broner did do that. He did it with Kevin Cunningham. And he went to Miami. It was too close to Miami. He started partying and got arrested. Remember?
Yeah. Okay. See, then that was yeah. He did. That's right. Yeah, he was with Cunningham. So yeah. So what is an exhibition? Because the whole Roy Mike thing, I mean, if it was a live event, I would go just because the whole event thing and all of that.
We're going to have to grade up on that boomerang, catch you a counter punch. We're going out to Caesar in Vegas. One time, two time. Do. Let me see all my old heads if they know what I'm talking about. What up,
Can you
Caesar?
hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's up, guys? Great interview, man. Great interview. Damn, I was just having a conversation with a guy over here, so I kind of completely forgot what I was going to say. Kind of fucked up my call. Oh, sorry for cussing. But yeah, man, I just had a brain fart. So great show, great interview, and keep it up, guys. TV for life.
For sure. Man, what a fantastic interview. Harlem, you just listening? Greatness, what it do? Alrighty then. Looking like James. I think they all just listen. I'm going to go straight to J Mac, man. They all listening, man. I know all y'all work schedules, even Info Joe working now.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Derek.
I don't
a
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him. You want to bet? Let's bet $1 million. Easy. Let's bet $1 million. Call him Windstorm J Mac.
Can you hear me?
A little.
Yo.
You on the road for sure. Talk to us.
Okay. I've been in and out dropping service while I was driving, so I heard the interview, but I didn't catch the interviewer name, and I really don't have a strong topic on it. So I'll just give my call to Stone, but I'm sure he got an opinion on it.
All right. We're gonna go to Keem. You ain't typed, so I'm assuming you talking today. If not, be quick on the trigger.
I open the door for audiences in all of sports to go back to the way it was in Jesus' name. Amen. It's done. The fight, I'm making $10 million. I'm not really worried about what he making on him.
I believe you.
That's why you gonna see in Jesus' name. Amen. With Earl Smith.
Man, you're not fighting those shut the fuck up.
Yo. Did you produce that beat?
Nah, I don't
about
make beats.
To say
I get the beats from somewhere else.
I was about to say that thing do hit hard.
Yeah, no, that beat is pretty hard, man. But yeah, man, good interview, man. Great interview, actually. That was interesting, man. That made the time go by so fast, man. I didn't realize he was on that long and what time it was when the interview was that good.
Bulbs kept going off.
Yeah, the Badu Jack story and talking about Luis Ortiz, being broke, like it's great, man. And I saw that documentary Counterpunch on Netflix when he had Chris Colbert down there.
Yeah.
And Chris Colbert was eating McDonald's and playing around and got whooped and sparring.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, man, this dude's a world champion. He's sleeping in that room, sending all his money back to his family, man. That's kind of hungry you gotta have, and just to hear him say how many people have lived that same life in that same gym, just grinding from nothing, man. You know what I mean? Those are the stories I love to hear, man. Them kind of stories. We don't get those enough, man. So that was just a really, really good interview, man. And you've been getting a lot of exclusives lately, man. It's like people have been coming on here and dropping breaking news without realizing it. Travis Kaufman did it. It's been happening a lot, man.
Bro, fantastic, man.
That's what's up, though, yo. Keep grinding, man.
I wish Mario was working as hard. And this ain't a shot at you, Mario. I just know that when you write, your stories always got picked up, man. Like Mario got picked up by Yahoo, by ESPN. Like, he does well with words outside of rap. What up? You got a super chat or you just hitting me with a Dukins?
Hitting Mario with the Hadouken. He be hitting people with the Hadoukens all day.
Nah, bro. Listen, man. News got broke. Listen, Michelle Rivera. I'm glad he told me how to pronounce his name because I was calling him all type of craziness.
What you was saying?
I don't even want to get into it, bruh. I didn't even, first of all, I didn't even know his name was Rivera. I thought it was like Echeverera or some craziness.
There you gave.
I gave him extra E and V's and everything.
He gave him the Chev.
But I knew that La Sara, I knew he was this. Yo, listen, it's crazy, bro. I started following a few months ago.
La Sarsa. That's what they call him. La Sarsa.
So he's spelling it with Z's. That's all.
You talking about? Are you talking about like Arsa?
No, it's not. I think he even got it wrong. Listen, it's ZAR.
ZA.
Salsa. Salsa is SALSA.
No, Sarsa.
Yeah, so what the hell is Zarza? Salsa is sauce or dancing. Salsa. What the hell? What the hell is Zarzara or whatever? Man, get out of here, bro. I'm telling you. I think it's a play on words. I think it's still.
A black. La salsa is. Look, I'm gonna give you the Spanish version, right? La mesa una tabla.
You ain't pronouncing it right. I'm telling you right now, you ain't pronouncing it right. You pronouncing it like salsa.
Says the guy that screws up all the names.
Yo, Mario, you gonna let him get at me like that?
I'm lost. Like, I don't know how to. Like, I thought it was. Damn.
Michelle Rivera.
Yes, Michelle. Yeah, Michelle. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no,
that's
what
I thought it was.
That's why he calls him Michelle, because it's Michelle Rivera Lazara.
Yeah, but see, we had somebody on. We had an amateur on one time, and I'll never forget. I was saying Michelle, and he like stopped me. It's like That's not my name. I was
Is
like,
that
oh,
the yo? It's I'm also saying. I'm sorry. It might be BlackBerry. That's what it is.
word?
Really?
Yeah, the BlackBerry.
That's what
But-
that means?
but
Z-A-Z.
No
Yo,
way.
anyway,
Yeah,
let me get to
I put
callers.
salsa in
The
English.
more you
Dog,
know.
just put the name in Google. What you put in salsa for?
That's what I did.
Bro, you keep saying salsa. Salsa. Not salsa.
You still pronouncing the Z like a S.
Bro, what you want me? Zarza.
Yeah, that's what it is. It ain't no zarza for no reason.
Zarza.
Let me get to King Amin. What up?
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
TBV, what's going on?
Buenos dias, Larry.
Y'all hear me good?
The ghost of Larry OG
Official.
over here.
You?
Uh-oh.
We hear you, champ. We hear you.
My broski hit the Larry OG?
Yeah,
the ghost of Larry OG?
This the ghost of Larry OG. Do me.
Nah, this is some blue cookies, and then I got some other nonsense.
Bruh,
man.
let me
But yeah,
find out that you
listen, yo.
Are you Stone Bones' brother or something? Every day
Bro be having all the exotics.
he got a new name every day.
Listen, man, it's for my
When you
for
know,
my,
you know.
for my medicinal purposes.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's dope. You actually got the card?
We'll talk offline.
All right.
Cheer.
All right.
Yo,
All right.
fellas, I gotta roll. I'm working. All right.
Oh,
All
man,
right.
all right.
Yo, man.
Man, you got hit with a storm of information. I know you kept saying like, "Oh snap!"
Oh
When he
snap!
said,
All day!
"Oh snap!" Like,
All
what?
day.
Oh snap!
Bruh, listen. When he announced Michelle fight, I'm like, what? Say
And it's
what?
yeah, and it is Blackberry Bush.
Dog, Ladarius Miller versus him is cray. For Mayweather Promotions, it just shows how trash they are promoting. You know, poor Miller has beat dudes that gone on to be world champs and ain't get a title shot yet. He's still fighting undefeated dudes like, yo, damn, man. Damn you, Mayweather. Damn you.
Yo, you know what was crazy to me about it when he was talking about the damn it, the Mayweather fight, or he used to fight out of the Mayweather gym in Vegas.
Who used to fight out of that gym?
No, the guy from the gym.
Lou Boy Devalle?
No. Fuck. Badu Jack. There you go.
Jack.
When he said that they forced the negotiations to put a situation where they had to release him. Like, I've heard that happen before, so I know it's not like something new, but that's some ugly shit though, for real. Like, that's dirty.
What?
Like, that's to force to say, oh, you're only gonna get this shot because he said that they basically only signed him for the fight if he released him from his contract. So he didn't get nothing as a manager for his time that he put in with Badu, and he was cool with it, you know, and he thought that you were taking shots you weren't. I knew you weren't. I knew you were just curious about what was going on.
From a managerial
because that's the nice thing
standpoint.
to do. But how many managers, you know, make that decision? Like, what's best for the fighter as opposed to how can I line my pocket?
My curiosity came from my, you know, past interest in wanting to play a managerial role in the future.
sure.
So I'm like, whoa, you ain't get paid for that? Like, my man went on to be a Gemity gem and make some money. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't cut you off.
Yeah, that sucks.
But moving on to King Born in Brooklyn.
Yo, check it out. I think that's one of the best interviews, man, in the last 3 months, man. I love his passion. I like that was what he said about Chris Colbert. You know what I mean? And I got 2 points, right?
Cut out, champ.
Yo, Born.
Hold on. That Sunday show, hey, y'all did that format was good. Y'all should keep that for the regular show. It flowed good and everything went smooth, man. You know what I'm saying? That was real good. And I got, that Darmani Rock and Grown, what? Yo, it's gonna be good. But think about it, y'all. Keep that format on Sunday for the regular show. That way it keep flowing good. Peace.
For sure. That's actually the intention. But we're working. We're gonna get there. Majimbe.
Let's go, champ.
Majimbe's just listening. N.O.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella.
My bad. So you're not talking Majimbe. All right. Damn. N.O. Go ahead. Apology.
Hey, what happened?
You all talking? Y'all confusing me.
Yeah, brother, my bad. My wife called me real quick. That was a great interview. Great interview. You guys killed it. There's not much I can say, man. You guys are knocking it out the ballpark every single day. I'm very happy to hear that there is somebody in boxing that's doing a lot for Dominican fighters. I do believe that we do have the talent. Obviously, we have the athletic performance in other sports, and I think we could do the same in boxing. We just have to have somebody like Herman doing, the work and making sure that these guys are staying dedicated. Yeah, man, tremendous. Keep on doing your thing, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Shout out to old Shockey Foster said. What the coach said about Colbert? Champ, when they gonna get you a fight, champ, man? Damn. Yo, I've been waiting to see what's the dilly with you too, man. But nah, he basically said it's a real fight. They're Jaime in. And that Jaime's in a real fight and Colbert's in a real fight. But obviously he's going and rooting for his guy. Let me damn, who is that? Is that Nelson? Nelson, that's you? Yo. I don't even think he could hear me.
Damn.
¿Qué
pasó?
Who we got? NO, talk to us, B. What up?
Whoa.
What up?
What's good, man? My audio straight. I ain't know I'm on the road, man.
You alright?
I'm alright, cool. I'm out here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, dog. I'm in the sticks right now, you heard me? But shit, bro, good interview. I was kind of in and out, I ain't gonna lie, cause my signal is kind of fighting right now, but from what I can hear, bro, I got a lot of information out there, bro. A lot of info, bro. Shout out to the trainer, bro. Keep doing your thing. Keep your head up. And shit, bro. We gotta get G Rush on the show. I ain't about to get off into it, but we gotta get Rush on the show ASAP, man. Gotta make that happen, bro. Gotta at least reach out. That dog. Gotta make that happen, bro. That's my call.
Who you want? Who he said, yo?
I didn't hear. I don't
man,
know who
Gary Russell.
Bro, we had Gary Russell on here.
Nah, you gotta get him back. Man. You don't know what's going on right now.
We know what's going on.
I ain't listened to it. Of course I heard people hit me up. I ain't listened to it yet, but like, I'm not about to piggyback. That's piggybacking, dog. I can't even say I don't report news. I create news. But I try to create more news than we report with these interviews. I feel you, though. Last time I had... the thing is with Gary, look, this is probably another... check us out on Overtime. Remind me to talk about this on Overtime. That's all. It's some decisions need to be made. But Stonebone, what up? Go ahead and take a boomerang with you.
What up? Yeah, shout out to New Orleans, man. Hey,
y'all in recovery mode, man. August got y'all looking bad. Y'all got to redeem yourself down in New Orleans. So this is the first step by the boomerang. Oh, that was a good interview, man. I think Colbert he's been just taking step up fight after step up fight. So I think he the goods. You know, he don't have the power yet. I want to see how it develops. But when you see the skill or the bravado, I say to me when I look at him, he looks like the the better version of a Tevin Farmer, the guy that got the movement, the slickness. Tevin Farmer just don't got the footwork that he got, but I think he's a better version. So I think he can become a champion without ever taking those losses that Tevin Farmer lost early. So he moving up, and not many guys are taking step up fights, especially a lot of young guys. A lot of young guys are getting beer cans to knock out during COVID. So at least he taking a real fight, real body, and that's a real that's how you become number one. That's how you become the guy that's gonna be somebody mandatory by taking the last couple fights he done had. And back to Vergil. Listen, do not put him in there with Keith. What we just saw the night before last is a good young fighter developing. Vargas is not. Dumi was walking close to the line of saying that he better than Keith and Kell Brook. He was close. He wanted to say it. He just ain't got enough cojones to say it. He wanted to. He just wasn't man enough to say it because that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That boy is not. Put him in there with a Kell Brook and a Keith Thurman. He gonna get like I've been saying the last few days about a lot of these fighters. They about to get J Rocked and Lubin. I like him. I don't know why. He was getting work to the body. He let a Vargas who don't got no power. And if he's so hard of a puncher, he should have knocked Vargas out in like 3 rounds. I'm expecting the top elite guys to come out of COVID knocking guys' heads off. Watch how Earl come out. Watch how Bud come out. Watch how these dudes who are elite, how they been pent up. Look what Shakur did. Body. So we got to start seeing him step it up and stop short arming shots. He's looking short arm. When you short arming shots, that means you worried about getting hit. So stop worrying about getting hit. And if he's stepping to people, go Mexican style. If not, be smart, do the Robert Garcia thing, but take your time. Because you put him in there with a Thurman or Brook, he lose right now. He lose to Danny Garcia. I'll tell you, Danny Garcia would break his jaw. That little jab is strong, but Danny would take it to the face and catch and shoot. That's Danny Butter. That'll be Danny. That's food for Danny right now. You better get that dude some real fights and then think about going top 5. Peace.
All right. All righty then. Nah, that was a good call, man. I told y'all, man, I seen Vargas do some body work too. We got Big Nick. Talk to me.
He was.
Yo, what's going on there?
What up? What up?
Yo, yeah, what's happening, man?
What's happening?
Can you hear me?
We hear you, man.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to you guys on the panel. You know what, Nez? I'm not a hater, man. The interview was a good interview, but I just can't take Luis Ortiz, man. I just shut off like at the thought of hearing anything about him. But it was a good interview.
That is hate, though. That is hate because any true boxing fan appreciates Ortiz, and any true boxing fan absolutely understands that Ortiz is one of the most avoided. If it wasn't, we would have people fighting him. You know, it's just that simple.
Call it what you want. That's just my personal.
All right, so let me
opinion,
ask you a question. Is $225,000 low money for a guy who turned it down and made 7 twice?
Yeah, of course it is, champ. Right. I'm not even going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that.
So then that's one guy, right? Then the other guy just said he couldn't fight Dillian or Lewis. He needed a tune-up, which is Ruiz, right? So now that's 2 guys. You know what I mean? So I don't really see who's signing up to fight Luis Ortiz for you not to just agree with common boxing logic. Like who? Bro, I don't see anyone raising their hand. Michael Hunter, the first guy to raise his hand.
Bro, listen. Do you know what? Listen. I don't deny that there's times probably where fighters. I don't know. He was signed to Matchroom, weren't it? It might have been strategic or whatever. But bro, he just doesn't do it for me on a personal level. That's just my opinion, yeah. But I'm not knocking him as a fighter. He just doesn't do it for me. I don't understand like.
So you didn't get excited in the 7th round with Wilder in the first fight?
Yeah, I did, but bro, he blew his load.
So you didn't get excited for the first 6 rounds in the second fight?
Bro, I wasn't even excited for the return fight. To be fair, because I knew how it
but when you watched it and you seen how well he did for the first 6 rounds before being stopped, are you telling us that you were not excited for those first 6 rounds?
Nez, you knew what was coming, man. You knew what was coming.
All right. No,
You knew
listen. You're entitled to your opinion if that's your opinion. You know, it is my job to make sure your opinion is heard by the rest of the people.
But hold on, there's just one quick thing on the Vergil Ortiz, the Ortiz that I'm interested in is listen, man. How does this sound? A catchweight fight with maybe him and Liam Smith. Obviously you got Liam Smith, who's a former opponent of Munguia.
I thought Liam is 54, bro. Come on, get your weight classes together.
It's a catchweight fight. That's why I said a catchweight fight. Yes, that's why I said
for Ortiz.
No, yeah, for Vergil Ortiz.
Why does he? He's a WBA gold champ. Like, why would he be in a catchweight with Liam? Liam is in Brook.
They're both DAZN, in it. They're both DAZN, and it allows Ortiz to get a name on his record. Do you know what I mean?
A name? Yo, Kell Brook is the name. Come on, guys. Come on, Big Nick. Come on, Liam. I mean, come on, man. Come on, you're trying too hard here.
Yeah, I was about to say trying
too hard. TJ, what up? I mean, I guess you know what, he's right. He did lose to Canelo. Maybe Mexican people remember that and they could bring him right back to Texas. Maybe he's right and I'm wrong. TJ, what up?
What's going on, y'all?
Chilling.
Spectacular interview, y'all. Like it was, that was phenomenal, bro. I listened to the one last night on another channel, and I thought that was going to be the highlight. This right here, y'all did a great job. A great job. Way to fish, Ness, for real. I'm with you on that. I hope that, Mario, I've never, this is not a slight to you at all. I've never heard you, I've never seen your writings, but I would love for you to go ahead and start writing like this breaking news stuff. I think, hearing that's November 26th, bro, that's Thanksgiving, bro. To hear that we gonna get a fight on Thanksgiving and then get another card on Showtime that weekend, that's just.
It's November 7th. He clarified.
Oh, we said November 7th.
No, he did say November 26th, but he came back and clarified and said November 7th.
Oh, okay, so. Is that a Showtime card or a Fox card? Because that's what I was getting to. Because I don't know if it's a fight.
You got to check that Instagram post and see what date it could fall on. Because it ain't gonna be It ain't gonna be no main event. That's for sure.
Shoot, I'm talking about that Ortiz fight is on that same card, ain't it?
Yeah, but
you just never know.
He ain't say Ortiz who. He's saying Ortiz's next fight is gonna be with Ruiz. So this fight might be a pie.
Man, I think even if it's a pie, I think they're gonna be the main event.
What?
Like, bro, this is
They better not come with no pie for Ortiz. November 28th is a date, so it is the 27th because it will be the day before. What day does the 28th fall on, Mario? Because they got
on a Saturday.
The Chris Colbert Jaime Arboleda fight is the 28th. So either they on the undercard or they the main event. Right?
I'm thinking they the main event on Friday, bro. That's what I'm saying. I just really think that, and I think it's on Fox because they haven't released that Fox schedule yet.
No, that's coming. That's coming.
Exactly. I thought I was trying to. Yo, you ain't refreshed, Doomy. I was trying to ask that. I was trying to get the scoop. Like, when is that schedule coming? Because I know they about to have another.
I think it
came
in late, champion. I refreshed once it was all over. My bad.
It's all good. But y'all, hey, I just want to tell y'all, great interview. I'm ready for overtime because, boy, it's a lot that was said yesterday. And I know y'all like, oh, I don't want to regurgitate what was going on. No, bro. That stuff, when you hear this, you're going to be like, dang, I know I should talk about this.
Yeah, let's do it. We going to overtime, actually, so we're all done with all the callers.
Quick super chat by Michael Buffor says, Big Nick mad because Ortiz coach dissed AJ.
Yeah, that's what it is. He did say, FAJ, he's a Biak,
He's a P.
Yeah, that's what he called him, a P.
Oh man, yo, and it's crazy, right? It's
Oh,
crazy.
my bad, Idris in the UK, the champ. What up?
Yo, what's good, man? Champ. Hey, listen, man. Do you know what I just want to talk about? Yeah, Gary Russell. Yeah, I just can't get it in my head to have him so highly the same way everyone else does. Like, what has he done? All I know him for is the guy that fought once a year for the past 6 years, and that was just his mandatory. The same WBC belt at 126, and he's supposed to be the boogeyman, and he's gonna apparently beat every single person at 135, 140, and 147. What am I wearing the wrong glasses right now? Because I feel like the bad thing is, yeah, I feel like I'm the only person who's just on the opposite side of this fence, and I'm thinking, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Somebody
Nah,
please
man,
convince me
listen.
otherwise.
Listen, I didn't even hear the interview, but I know what it is. Everybody's going to side with Russell because he's willing to fight the dudes that no one else is willing to fight. I'm pretty sure he mentioned Haney, Crawford, and...
Yeah, but no, man, I don't see that, though. I don't see that because look at this year. Remember, he was fighting once a year, Ness. You used to bring it up all the time.
Yeah,
that was one of your...
But listen,
You didn't
listen
mention it
to
more
me,
than
listen to
anyone.
me, listen to me. He's fighting once a year because Al can't force Leo or Abner to sign, bro. He can't force them.
Yeah, I get that, but it doesn't mean there's other people. He's PBC. Do you know what I'm trying to say? No unifications. Step up. Why didn't he just step up? Why didn't he go to 130?
I mean,
I
I hear
don't-
you. I hear you. That's overtime. I can't extend it to explain to you. You know, obviously, you're on some big Nick shit right now. Like, I just told you, Abner and Leo didn't want the fight, right? They chose to fight each other. Leo chose to fight Frampton twice. And respectively, those names are bigger than Gary. Gary is a victim of his own one time a year. You understand? But you can't say that, oh, why he ain't unified when Leo ducked him, bro. None of them dudes want to fight him. Who wants to fight him? You know what I mean? So now everybody's gonna back him because he's calling out the dudes that nobody wants to fight. The Haneys of the world. Bro, listen, that whole Haney Gary, didn't we do that like 3 months ago? We did that. You know what I mean? Like, we talked to Gary about it. He been said he was willing. We got a super chat from James Benitez says, Gary Russell sent Bud to the hospital during the Olympic trials. Oh, man, so people bringing out old T. I don't care. I'm not saying you, James. I appreciate your super chat. What I'm saying, this is what's got people excited, that he was talking about Bud. I knew it. Like, so what? That happened in the amateurs, in like Olympic trials. That's what? Wasn't Bud a 2008? What year Olympian was he? Oh my goodness, they bringing up old T. I'm good.
And who did what? What was the name?
Man, nothing, bro. Gary Russell sent Bud to the hospital, allegedly.
Yeah, it was 2008.
Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So now the world going crazy.
Hey Ness, I tripped you in '96.
Yeah, bruh. Listen. I don't know. What is this?
I made you fall.
All right, so we out of here, man. Catch us on Overtime. Peace.
Come to over.